ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys. I be your shiny and chrome DM Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more satisfaction than having my glorious deeds witnessed on the Fury Road to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and my Humblewood world for a brand new story. Above me, I have me hearty crew, the marvellous Daria surname redacted, the magnificent Zach the Renegade Chicken, and the memorable Mr. John Best. So, guys, let's talk about these lovely folks, shall we? First of all, Bishop Blood, welcome, mate. It's 5 a.m. What the fuck? But thank you for joining us. And Laurite, lovely to see you, my dear. Good to see you. Yes, it's a Zach. I have captured
me
him.
Again.
Daria, who the absolute heck are you?
I'm the absolute heckin' Daria. I'm an artist, and you can find me here most of the Thursdays to play some Humblewood. And you can find my art on the channel in terms of emotes and portraits and all kinds of things. That's it.
Hells yeah. We have a rotating work of Daria's work beneath me. All of the current art for every character in the Humblewood who currently possesses some. Except I realize Kesh's is the old one, but I like the sword. It's cool. Zach, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Zach, or the Renegade Chicken. It has been a while since I've kind of been doing the streaming thing, aside from my recent stint on Talk Like a Pirate Day, which was very, very fun. Yes. So looking forward to hopefully sort of come back a little, a little more, play some more games, have some fun with it, we'll see. Other than that, though, I have no idea when I'm going to be around, because working a full-time job is a hell of a drug.
Yeah. John wouldn't know anything about that, would you, John? John, who the heck are you?
I'm John. I've been an actor for, I think, past years. I played D&D for, the past maybe 5-ish years, but never streamed. So this is fun. This is a streaming cherry for me.
Ooh, popping it. Alrighty, and mesdames et messieurs, dames und herren, beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends, including some new ones. We've got a lot coming up in the next little while. There is very hopefully a Teens in Space. Teens in Space! Will be rejoining us. Yeah, we have an ongoing campaign in that setting that I'm hoping to have come back next Monday, which will be fun. Excellent. With not next Monday, the Monday after, with the lovely Malika Moon, the splendid Soteris, Ardana, the Laurite herself, and hopefully Kate O'Sullivan as well, back as Mandy or Uzi Mandeus. What else have we got coming up? This will be the two-shot. Then in December times, we will be having the 12 Days of Candlekeep Christmas. Possibly slightly changed from last year, so Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and having the Wednesdays off so Josh can get some sleep. Hey, Fox School, good to see you, mate. Other than that, yes, you might find my majestic voice in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar and his little dragon, Hrosh. Right, well, gentles and ladymen, we have a quick link that I'm going to throw up here for the Ukrainian Action Appeal, the Emergency Action Appeal for Ukraine, rather. It is a collaboration of charities and not-for-profits raising money to help the refugees caused by the war in Ukraine. If you have any spare pennies in your charity wallets, please consider donating them over there. Every penny would be gratefully received, you bloody champions. I must also remind our celebrated, august, and possibly even distinguished audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have a YouTube where you can catch up on all the episodes you may have missed. It is fully up to date. And we have a Discord where you can join us there, chat about all the games that we have played, post pictures of your pets. That's always very popular. Creative ideas that you have. We love to hang out there. It's good fun. Is there anything else I need to mention? I don't think there is. Oh, yes, there is. Music today, provided by Sirenscape. That what is gracing your ear holes right now is provided by the wonderful Sirenscape. We also are affiliated with two amazing companies. The first being the chaps over at Wooten Forge. Wooten Forge Gaming Accessories provide some of the finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories like this Jarrah Dice Keeper. Jolly pretty thing. There you are. check them out at wootenforge.com/Corsairs Cove, and any purchases you make, we get a cheeky little kickback, you bloody champions. I don't shill, but I do have bills. And we also are affiliated with Troll Lord Games. The amazing chaps over at Troll Lord Games are content creators and fantastic TTRPG company. They publish some of Gary Gygax's last stuff. You can check them out at trolllord.com for their amazing content as well. They also have a Twitch channel if you want to check that out. Mr. Troll Lord Chuck himself is a splendid DM over there. And a dog called Jara. It's a lovely name for a dog. That's splendid. I like that. Hey, Abyss. Good to see you. So, I think that's about all we need to do, really, because we don't need a recap, because this is... I mean, Daria could give us a little bit of a grounding about what the heck happened to Julio in the before times before this. This is, canonically, Julio about 3 weeks after the last time we saw Julio in episode 49 of that campaign. So, Julio, what's happened to you?
Well, I'd imagine Julio would have had very busy 3 weeks because he is essentially organizing a new branch of religion in the city. He is invited on the synod, which means that he has to talk shop with all the fancy religious folks in town, and he would take to that pretty well. But his main concern would have been strengthening and helping the community in the root system. So outside of his religious duties, he would start planning for like a Sunday school. It's not happening yet, but they're trying to make some waves in the community. And in general, his friends would have probably seen very little of him in that period. He would just jump in once in a while, say hello, and just leave immediately. And only by the third, fourth week, by the end of that first period, he has just a little bit of downtime. And in the back of his mind, Julio is definitely thinking about the promise that he gave to the life tree, to the... What's the name of the tree? Actual name?
Yeah, I'm now frantically racking my brain as well. I'll get back to you on that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tree, special tree,
Yeah.
Alderheart. No, Alderheart is where we live.
Isn't that the god that you worship?
Yeah. The flower
Yeah.
that we got
A
from
Vinterblossom. The Vinterblossom tree.
Yeah, Vinterblossom. Yes, beautiful. Yeah. So that.
Well, it was a flower. It was just the size of a small palm tree.
Yeah. So the seed is still with him in a little pouch, and he's thinking about the time when he can finally get to it. But he's quite a busy boy.
As I recall, you got 5 of them, and your intention is to plant one of them. Most of them are going to be planted at the base of the Alderheart itself.
Yes.
But you intend to take one of them to another place. So, before we let us get into it, shall we? May fresh saplings from alternate dimensions sprout wherever you walk, and all your childhood friends have done something useful with their lives as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Everden. So, we return to the Alderheart, the great capital of the Humblewood. Julio has been a tumultuous few weeks, to say the least, since we last saw you, and things have finally started to settle down. The new expanded Alderheart Council have been passing fairer laws. Larimar has been placed on trial, and her fellow conspirators are all being tracked down. You have lended Kesh the occasional bit of assistance with that, but I imagine most of it has been sort of dealt with by the Perch Guard and by the Wildwood Brigade. It took nearly a week and a bit of pressure for the council, a little pressure from the council rather, but eventually High Priest Viscar was reinstated, and he lost no time in inviting you to his synod. The Lorite has redeemed an inspiration and a D4 bonus. The inspiration for Bron and the bonus for Kingsley. So, gents, right off the bat, you both have a bonus. Let us pop that up there, right there. So, Kingsley gets the D4.
Inspiration?
I already have an inspiration.
You do.
You give it to one of the lads. Wink, wink, wonk, wonk.
Oh wow, you're just dropping one for everybody. Well, let's give that inspiration to Kingsley as well, so we don't have to double up.
Well, thank you.
I think my new bunny just arrived. Hello. Do you come bearing a rabbit? Alrighty, there we go. Thank you very much, Laurite. That escalated things very quickly. Siri's like, I must be friends with the rabbit. So Julio, at first in an advisory capacity you have been brought into the synod, and then when it became clear to the priesthood generally that the cult of the Older Heart was going nowhere, you were invited to have a more permanent seat in the ecclesiarchy. So we have gone through a little bit of what you have been doing in this time, but you've managed to finally sort of get enough. So you've sorted out your supporters. Ecclesiarchy is a good word, isn't it? Synod's also a good word. I did a lot of research for this one. And it's not completely accurate. Technically, an ecclesiarchy is a government by religion. There is a line between church and state in Alderheart, but it's not a very thick line because one of the 7 members of the Alderheart Council is the High Priest of Alderheart. So it's sort of, they have a say, but it's not the say. But I like the word, so I used it. You have managed to, you've got a couple of sort of trainee priests under your own trainee priesthood banner yourself, enough that you feel it's probably a good time for you to go on a little jaunt. See what else you can get done. So, Julio, you, I presume, how do you go about heading home? Do you travel by land or by sea?
Well, yeah, I sort out my affairs. I say goodbye to my friends, to Shayax and Mihai. I kind of leave them in charge of the temple while I'm gone. And because I'm heading to Espinorra, right? It's a sea town. I think Julio. It's a great question. What is the fastest route?
Probably by sea.
Probably by sea. Yeah. Julio is a bit like reticent to actually get on a boat because he's a bit his nerves are quite active. He's in a bit of a worry of how he will be seen there, what questions will be asked about his past. So getting on a boat draws out some memories of his pirate past, but
I mean, he does own a boat.
That's true. He does own a boat, so I think it's a good way to like limber up and remember his skills and kind of try to reconcile with the fact that he will have to talk about it probably at some point. So he'll take his own boat and just sail away on his little yacht. Which is not a yacht.
Give himself a little holiday. Yeah, you head out on the Breakbill. The Breakbill is it's a dinghy with a mast. Like it is a not really like it's a little 2-person fishing boat. If you stick to the coast, you'll probably be okay.
Can I get a little white and blue sweater that I tie with the ends
of course
on here,
and
like
sandals.
Those rich motherfuckers? Yeah.
You need the boat shoes. You stop in at Saltar's Point and see Petra, your old friend Petra Cloudburst, who's been looking after the Breakbill for you. Have a nice dinner with her, and then head on down to Espinorra, which is probably a sort of 4 or 5 day sail. And the eastern port, so Espinorra, for a little bit of backstory for our viewers, because this is the first time we've actually really left the Humblewood in this setting. Espinorra is the eastern port of the old Eluran Empire, the Elurans being the cat folk. However, the empire fell a couple of 100 songs ago, songs being years. I love it when they just change the name of a thing but don't actually change what it is. Bordered by jungle on one side, sea on the other, and built into the southern slopes of Mount Teluvar, Espinorra has a weary, time-worn glory. Built of sandstone and marble, the city gleams in the sun as you approach it from the sea, Julio. Its streets shaded by trees barely kept at bay from the jungle around it. Its population dress lightly for the humid days and sultry nights, and almost everywhere there is music, except in the early afternoons when the inhabitants retire to wait out the heat in slumber. Think Mediterranean, think Cretan or Spanish, that's very the vibe here. You return here, you make port, you are a seafarer, you probably still, like, even now, recognize a couple of old dock hands at the docks. You tie up and pay the docking fees, and head on down to your old orphanage, your old haunts. You're here really for just one reason, aren't you? It's not like, is this going to be a long stay, or do you intend for this just to be a smash and grab?
I mean, I definitely brought a few presents for the new kids, some sweets from Humblewood, because I don't think they would know not much about Humblewood. So some sweets, some like wooden toys, essentially just Julio is planning a little catching up evening with the lady of the house, giving the gifts, and then skedaddling into the night.
Amazing. Cool. Well, you get there sort of, I would say, let us say about 2 in the afternoon. What does the orphanage, what's it called, and what does it look like? Build my world.
Yes, the orphanage is called Lady Eskander's Home for Woodland Waifs, and the orphanage is, how many trees are there in this city?
Lots of trees, none of them anywhere Alderheart size. It's a jungle. Think tropical city. A lot of trees, like the boulevards are lined with trees for shade more than anything else. It's a very green town. It's a mountain, not a volcano, but so the slopes are not overly lush, but a lot has been sort of propagated, and it is a very green place.
In that case, the house itself is a little bit further back. It's like surrounded by a garden with a little fence, and there are shaded trees under which usually the kids would play when Julio lived here. And the house itself, it's kind of like a pretty boring looking rectangle in terms of architecture, with like with square windows, but the walls of the sandstone building are covered in different kinds of murals, where every kid who comes in here is given like a paintbrush and a couple of different paints, so they can also leave a little bit of something on the wall. So there's like tiny little prints of paws. Yeah, some pictures of a kid like finding a huge lizard or something. It's just a bunch of those things.
I love it. Yes, you arrive. A half dozen small children are playing in the dirt outside. There is a seesaw that wasn't there the last time you were here, two on each end. Are leaping up and down with joy, overseen by an Ellyrian priestess who has aged quite gracefully. When you knew her, she was in her middle age. She does not look that... Like, it's been, 30 years? Mm-hmm. And she doesn't look 30 years older. Perhaps 20, but not 30. She sits under the shade of a tree, nursing a cup of tea, observing her charges. She is dressed in the robes of a priestess. Those have not changed except to become a little bit more threadbare and worn. The priestess is of an amaranthine that you have not heard worshipped in a long time, Julio. She worships the Ellyrian amaranthine Nabah, which gets no look in really in the Humblewood. The Humblewood was never part of the Ellyrian Empire, and there are very few Elurans living there, so she doesn't really... But even here, she is not a very popular deity, and her priesthood is really quite small. And she spots this well-dressed, eye-patched, touped young Gerbine, well, middle-aged Gerbine man, with a cloak of living flowers, sort of standing, watching over the gate at the children on the seesaw, and tilts her head slightly as she notices you, and then you hear her say, "Julio?
Hi.
Hello." She immediately
come in?
hops up. Please, please.
Okay.
Come, little one. Let me see you. You
Hello,
have
Lady
grown
Eskander.
such... You don't need to call me that anymore. We're both grown-ups now.
Oh, am I gonna call you Caspia?
Caspia, yes. Oh,
That's
I do so love it when one of my little ones comes home. How are you? You look to be doing very well. I am proud.
Well, I'm kind of like a big wig in Humblewood now.
Humblewood, you got that far.
Oh yes. I kind of have a box of sweets and gifts for the kids. Where do I unload?
Oh, you should give them to them yourself. And she gestures to a small Tilia girl. Tilia are lizard folk. And not overly common in the Humblewood either. And this little gecko girl, probably about 12 years old, dashes inside and gathers up the rest of the children. And there is about 12, 15 kids, which is slightly fewer than when you lived there. And they all sort of gather around and clamor for your attention. And the afternoon passes in quite pleasantly. You are offered tea and a biscuit. It's pretty rough fare, but no significant decrease in quality to when you lived here. It doesn't look like she's struggling, just slowing down a little bit. Hey Jess, good to see you.
When I'm done like divvying up presents and such, I would like to take a moment with her, like kind of alone, so we can catch up without the shrieks of children as they're like busy with their toys probably.
She says, "Well, when I put them to bed tonight, we will have dinner." And we sort of cut to that. So she says, "So, Mr. Bigwig, what brings you home? Lovely it is to see you. But if you're an important man in Humblewood, why are you here?"
Well, a lot has happened in the few recent months. Being part of the synod and everything in Humblewood, that's kind of very new. I was mostly adventuring and doing some other stuff before that.
You have found your faith.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I am so glad. She, whilst a priestess of a dying god, or possibly even a dead god, she was not a proselytizer. She did not raise her children to be worshippers of any one particular deity, only to have faith themselves. But she left their choice to them. But she is extremely glad that you have found one.
Caspia, I never really fully understood before what it meant for you, and I think now I do.
This is why I do not force it. You have to find it yourself.
Yeah, but that is actually kind of connected to why I'm here. So, we kind of sort of overthrown the tyrannical government and kind of sort of traveled to different planes, including the life plane. It was a lot. Yeah, but one of the things that happened when we were on the life plane was that one of the talking flowers there, a Vinterblossom it's called, we wanted its power for a specific ritual. I won't bore you with the details. It's adventuring stuff.
Of course.
But the plant asked me to to plant a seed of one of its children here, where I grew up. And well, what's a better place for a life plain tree than here in this garden?
You are
Would you allow
bringing
me?
me a new orphan.
Kind of, yeah.
Of course. What? Who am I to say no to a life plane plant? I am curious to meet it. If you can talk to it, I look forward to doing so. But Julio, and her face drops. I worry it won't. I worry. I don't want to burden you with this, but I worry it'll die. This place is not well. The jungle sickens and dies here. There is
In the city specifically?
all around there is a sickness. You see, as the faith of Naba has waned, people have forgotten much, including the calamity that nearly toppled the empire at its height. They looked at the jungle and they see something too mighty to ever die. But hundreds of songs ago, the Fizzards, the evil order of wizards and elementalists, nearly destroyed all before Naba herself intervened. The story goes that she and several of her paladins hunted these dark mages down, but the damage was done. So, several of them were obliged to sacrifice themselves to save the forest. Their souls were bound into ancient stones and placed in temples throughout Xenia's paradise, which is the local jungle, and it is their spirit that keeps the jungle thriving. But it's beginning to die. Crops are failing, and I believe the stones are fading, or being stolen.
Roland, who would do that? Why?
As I say, people are forgetting the stories. They don't know not to take things. Also, we are having more and more visitors from over the seas. The port is opening back up again. The new town council, they want to revitalize the place, which has a good thing and a bad thing. One of my young miscreants, Dori, has told me of a group of treasure hunters who led an expedition out into the forest and came back with something they planned to ship back to Fernveld to display in a museum of all places.
I see. Is Fernveld part of the Alien Empire?
No, it is. So there is a huge mountain range to the west of the Humblewood, and across the mountain range is Fernveld. It's sort of, there are sort of three major land masses. Is Humblewood to the east, Fernveld to the west, sort of separated by this huge mountain range, and then in the south there is the Tangle Wilds on a peninsula. Hey, Shanas.
And Fernveld is a country of whomst?
Similar to Humblewood, like there is no. Calling it the Ellyran Empire was really just, it was a ruling family of Ellyrans. Everybody else was a mixture of everything. Ellyrans sort of had positions of nobility and so forth. Similar vibe to the Humblewood with the Birdfolk, but more extreme. And it's why it collapsed. Because just not enough people in too many positions of power were like, no, fuck this isn't okay. It's a lot more democratic now. It's a lot more, the town council is elected, and the empire itself is long gone.
And another question. Julio would have spent a lot of his childhood times in the kitchen, helping because he thought it was fun. Would he remember any of the stories or anything connected to the followers that went in? Does he have any memory of this lore?
Yeah, you probably have heard this story before. While she didn't preach, she did tell the stories. And yeah, that story does ring a bell. But it's just one of many stories. She didn't give it any particular weight 30 years ago.
And the Dark Mage or the Facade, also just a name from a story. Again,
that is hundreds of years ago. And yes, there is no... You haven't heard of the Fizzars in modern memory.
Okay. That is very troubling. Well, I I kind of have a knack with nature and gods now, so I think I should look into it. I
Yeah.
can't stay for too long, but I should probably ask around. Is Dory somewhere around? Can I ask her some questions?
She is. I would suggest not going alone. The
Yes.
adventurers, more like thugs, don't. You're a brave boy, but perhaps look up a couple of my other young miscreants. I'm sure there are a couple around here. I know that several of them found useful activities for themselves in their adulthood.
Yeah, I probably should. Do you know if any of my old friends stayed in town?
Do you remember Bron?
Yeah, a strange little lad, but he was nice.
I believe so, yes. You might find him. I'm not
Okay.
sure where Bron would live. Bron, where would you be found?
I think it would be like a combination shop and house.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us say reasonably close to the docks, where there's a ready supply of interesting stuff coming in and out. Yeah, she would say, yes, young Bron. He has a shop, I think, down by the docks. He makes things, very interesting things. He's very clever.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, thank you for the tea. I think while it's not too late, I should probably see who I can find, and then in the morning, I'll talk to Dory, and we'll set off.
It might be better to go tonight. They are apparently, she tells me this morning. They are just come back. They are celebrating their success and planning to leave tomorrow.
In the tavern.
No, they are at it is sort of a waypoint, a little camp outside of the town itself, on the edge of the jungle, where people stay when they are preparing to make adventures into the depths of the jungles. I believe they are staying there.
All right. Then no time for chatting with Dory. I'll
She can lead
get
you.
a couple of folks. I don't want the kids to be in unsafe places.
She won't take you. She won't go with you. She'll just take you to it. I would
Okay,
not have
then.
her go either.
Good. And Casper, do I understand correctly that all we want is for them to leave the sacred stones, and or do you want me
that
to
is
find?
all that is needed
All right.
to take
then
them back to the temple.
back to the temple. Got it. Where's the temple?
In the center of if you follow, there is a star. You recall, I told you about it a long time ago. Josh searches notes. The promising guide. It's in this world. It would be the pole star sort of thing. Julio, as a sailor and navigator, you are well aware of this star, and it is particularly relevant. It because of the way the orbits work, it is always in a fixed position above the Tangle Wild Forest themselves. So it is the way which you navigate. She says you follow that and head almost due west from the city, and you will find it. You'll know it when you see it. Looks like a dice balanced on another dice.
All right. Then I should probably go. I'll
Bless
be
you,
back
boy.
soon.
I'm sure he will. I will send Dory with you when you come back.
Right.
So,
So I set off to do docks.
you head to the docks to find Bron Hydecraft. Bron, tell me about Bron.
So Bron lives in kind of a combination house shop. It's got like a small crooked chimney coming out of it with like strange coloured smoke and like sounds of like bang and like crash every once in a while. Sometimes like a gear rolls out the door or something. He makes things. He sells. If he would have a shop, I don't know if he has a name or not, but it would be something like bopping defense. So he's.
You're breaking up a little bit there, John. We're
maybe if I move it a bit closer.
maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So he's a very happy, maybe you might say gullible person. Just kind of enjoys being around friends, I think.
And what
Is
does
he
he
Gallus?
look like? No.
He's a Vulpin.
Ooh.
So he's a foxy boy. He's average height, which I think is. Let me check the description.
About 5 feet.
Yeah, 5 foot. Yeah. So a red fox, I think, with large bushy tail at the back. And has one set of armor on. Just always has a little chain.
Always wearing armor. Ah, interesting. And a bracer on his forearm?
Yes, now he does. Yes. When you see him for the first time, I don't think you would have seen it last time, but he's got a little bracer and it's got a little gem in there that is black.
Nice. Interesting. So, let us roll on the getting to know you table to establish a little bit of backstory. So, John and Daria, please roll me a D100.
Ooh. Let's see. Can I roll physical dice?
No, that's not allowed. Sorry.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
83.
83. Okay. Amazing. Okay. Daria, what strange hobby did Bron have when he was a kid? And do you share it, and how do you feel about it?
Oh no, I'm about to fuck up your shit, my man. I think
that's Julio's thing.
Cross-dressing. Yeah, that's my thing. Excuse me, that's like 50% of Julio's personality.
Yeah.
How fucking dare you? No, I think Ron would be that weird kid at the playground who eats rocks.
Oh yes.
Okay. And Julio does not share this.
Julio would be, because he was into cooking even as a kid, he would like try to corral Bron from it and like try to like give him a little cookie instead sometimes, but Bron was like, but how does it taste?
Yeah. Scientific research, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Love it. And John, how did you roll?
I rolled a 29.
29. Alrighty. Oh, that's cool. What is the nicest thing you could say about Julio?
That Julio is always generous and inclusive. Like, just looking to make new friends, sees someone new, goes up and is like, hey, don't eat rocks.
Is that the first thing I said to Bron growing up?
100%. Yeah.
Hey kid, don't eat that.
Don't eat that. Try a cookie instead, and that was it. Like Bron was like, "I am here for this."
Yeah, you're a good person.
Sounds like this
You're a
is
good
way
friend.
better than rocks.
Yeah.
I love it. Excellent. All right, yeah, Julio, you rock up at your. Oh, I did not intend that. At your old friend's door, knock, and you hear a clanging and banging inside, and a cog wheel rolls out the front door, and sort of pursuing behind, trying to catch it, is your old friend Bron.
Oh, sorry. Julio,
Yes, Bron.
how are you?
Good. How are you? You have a shop?
I have a whole shop. I make things. How have you been? It's been 30 something songs.
A bad song. Yeah. I'll grab the gear. Well, maybe we should go in.
Thank you. Yes, come in. Yes, I'll have some tea.
All right. How does it look inside? Is it like chaotic,
Oh, yeah.
ticking everywhere? Yeah.
Everything is
Classic.
everywhere. Yes, like it's easy to find. It's all on the floor.
Yeah.
So which of these things can I move to sit?
Oh, you can sit on anything. It might move, but yeah, you should be fine.
I
think.
All right. But yeah, this is exciting. So what do you sell here?
Everything. So, I've made some cool things. I found out I can make armor and stuff to like help people and not get like hit. Very fun. But like, yeah, anything. I'm lately looking into magic and light and darkness and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been great.
Oh, that sounds exciting. You were always a curious kid, but I never knew you'd be this much into metal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, neither did I, but I guess that's how it turns out. You just kind of...
Beats eating rocks. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Oh. I have made rock cakes.
Of course you did. I mean, I'll try anything.
Great. They're not real. Anyway.
Oh, that reminds me. I have something that you might like. I travel a lot for work purposes mostly. There you go. A little geode. It's a geode.
Ooh. That's cool.
Yeah,
like a rock with things in it?
Yeah. Little shinies. See, I don't know rocks very well, so I don't know what kind it is, but it looks shiny.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look... Yeah, amazing. Thank you. Where did you get this? Where have you been? What's been going on?
Well, okay. Don't tell the lady at the orphanage, but I kind of sort of was a pirate for many years.
A pirate?
Okay, don't say that loud. Holy shit.
Sorry.
Yeah. But that life is behind me. I also did a little bit of merchant things for a while there. Yes, nothing as exciting as this. But then I joined an adventuring group and kind of saved a city from a violent cult and made a less violent cult, which is cool and good.
Still violent, but less, or no violent?
Not violent. No, not violent at all. It's very nice cult. In fact, I'm kind of hoping that they will stop calling it a cult soon. But it's a work in progress.
Ah, wow! That you have been busy. You saved a city?
Well, among other people, I have very cool friends. Almost as cool as you.
Stop it. No, keep going.
But I'm kind of here on a serious business.
Oh.
To talk to you. Yes. So how do you know about the jungle dying thing?
Dying?
It has only really just started. It is not common knowledge, but he might have been. Given that he is not a particularly observant chap, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been to the orphanage today, and Caspia said that, well, the reason the jungle is dying is because some treasure hunters are taking the sacred stones out of the temple, and things might stop growing soon, which is not good.
Oh, that is not good. Sacred stone, you say?
Yeah, okay. So, long story short, you know how Lady Caspia was a priestess of Naba, like all the time we've been there. So she still is. But Naba is not very popular Amaranthine, mostly because no one saw or felt their presence in like many years. But the thing is, the jungle was kind of sustained in good conditions because some of the followers of Naba sacrificed themselves, and the sacred stones that hold their spirits were kind of keeping the jungle in a good condition. And because there are treasure hunters that want things for museums in Fernveld, I feel like they might have yoinked a couple, which is not good.
Oh, no. Okay. This is interesting. So, while you were away,
Uh-huh.
do you remember Caspia had a gem to do with Naba? I make magic things.
And you love rocks, yes, go on.
And I love rocks, yeah. So I took it one day just to see about the magic if that was in it, right? Because it glows very, very bright.
Right.
And I opened it, and all of the light shone into my eyes, and I was blind for about a month. It hurt a lot. And that, yes. So I've got it on my arm now. And it's a little bit broken.
It's not shining anymore.
No. When I touch it, there's a big blob of darkness that comes out instead.
Oh, when did you do that? When?
It was about a year ago, and I'm trying to fix it, but
Okay.
But I forgot
Okay.
how I had to put it back together.
Okay.
So my point is, opening magic rocks is bad.
Does Caspian know that you stole and broke her rock?
I don't think so. I hope not. My plan. Look, there is a wizard in Axion who can fix it. I'm sure. So I'm going to go there. But look, if people are opening this magic rock just had light in it. If people are opening magic rocks with souls in them, that's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Did that rock ever feel connected to Naba in Julio's memories? Was that an
Let's say
Some
yes,
sort
it was a sacred rock.
okay?
Let's
Okay.
lean in on this. This is all about the stones, baby.
Oh, okay. That's a not good, Braun. That's a very not good.
Yeah, I was gonna put it back together.
At this point, there is a knock on the door.
Jesus, if that's her, we know nothing.
A feathered face appears at the door. Kingsley, what do we see?
Okay, so Kingsley, I think is a Gallus, so is a chicken person. I had to rep the username somehow. Probably, I think just like the tiniest bit, like about 5 foot. I said like maybe the tiny bit above, but like pretty tall as far as a Gallus goes. A brilliant sort of like red like rooster's crest over the top of his head, and kind of the same sort of like red skin flaps kind of dangling from beneath the beak and around the eyes. And the red on his crest seems to have like a kind of gold speckling over it as well. And I think doesn't appear to be carrying much. Is probably wearing just like simple sort of pants and like a flowy white like half open shirt kind of for the weather. And I think given where he's probably just come from, there's probably a bottle of something in his hand, and I don't think he appears affected by it, but more just as an indicator of where he's come from. And I do think that earlier in the evening, although you had not seen it, when the afternoon had passed and people started coming out of their naps to begin sort of their sort of nightlife sort of socially again, I do think he would have rooster called.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
You recognize this chap. Julio may not. But Bron absolutely knows Kingsley.
I think just I think from or from the front door after the knock, you'll just hear like a hello.
Come in. Is that you, Kingsley?
Always sort of
Come in!
pushes the door open. Just, you have visitors.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Julio. Kingsley, Julio.
Right.
hello.
And Julio, I believe you did know this person, but he looked very different.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of visually recognized no, but Kingsley, oh, no, I know Kingsley. What the hell? This is different.
Wait.
Yeah,
wait,
I think
the funny kid.
I think the Kingsley you remember was relatively short, all just kind of very sort of like muddy brown sort of feathers, where now they're white with brown speckles instead, and no sort of like rooster crest or sort of like any of that sort of
Puberty.
red at all.
Puberty was very kind to Kingsley. Yeah.
Holy shit, Kingsley, I remember you a little bit. Yeah, you were the funny kid. You're a riot on recess.
Well, I certainly tried. It's good to see you again. And sort of goes straight for a hug.
Oh, okay. They're hugging.
Let,
right.
let's roll a D100. Let us do, I don't know, let's go one each. For Bron and Kingsley and Julio. So yeah, Julio, how do you know Bron? How do you know Kingsley? Kingsley, let's do a Kingsley first. And who do you want to answer a question about, Julio or Bron?
Given I just gave him a hug, I'll go with Julio
Julio,
first.
very well then. A D100,
And I rolled
please.
a 90
Ooh.
on the dot.
When you knew him as a kid, what mundane chore did this person procrastinate about doing?
Ooh, that's good. You know what? I think it was the dishes. I feel like Julio
very fair.
absolutely loved getting in the kitchen and helping out, but when it came to actually sort of like getting all the plates washed and putting everything back in the cupboards, Julio was suddenly nowhere to be found.
Holy shit, that's me. Relatable.
Alrighty, I love that. Yes. Daria, let's have one about Kingsley.
I have a 2.
Ooh, shit. Okay. Wow, this got heavy. When was the first time this person saved your life?
Ooh. Okay,
Possibly
interesting.
we alter it slightly in like, oh my god, you saved my life, dude. Like, not actually, like, saved you from being caught
Helped you.
in a like
Yeah,
major
yeah.
help.
I think Julio got a bit too excited about like a special like imported spice being brought by the lady at some point, and snuck into the kitchen in late at night to cook a little bit of it, and kind of sort of used all of it, and it was like an expensive ingredient that she was saving for like a special occasion. And I think because Kingsley is like pretty good at commanding attention and being quite eloquent, he bailed Julio out. How would Kingsley do that? Would he like take the blame or like lie beautifully?
Was Kingsley an orphan, or was he just a local kid with a family?
No, I think he was an orphan as well.
Uh-huh.
I do think he would have lived there. I very much feel like it would have been a case of sort of Kingsley maybe sort of like seeing what was happening, giving you the sort of like the quiet like hissing like no put that back, and then like as soon as someone sort of, it seemed like someone might have been about to step in, started causing some minor occurrence somewhere else that maybe got him a slap on the wrist but gave you time to put it back and kind of get out of dodge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love
Nice.
it. And John, give me a roll for Kingsley.
I got a 65.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. What life lesson has this person taught you, or have you taught them?
Ooh.
And it can't be
Ooh.
not eating rocks. That was who.
I think persistence. I think if Kingsley has changed a lot, I think maybe Kingsley showed Bron how you can just keep going at something and like keep trying and keep trying to be a bard, and then it paid off, and it paid off in spades. And I think Bron looks up to Kingsley in that regard, that he just kept at it, never gave up, and achieved his dream.
Love it. Excellent. Alrighty. So yeah, the three of you are there, and Julio is being hugged by a very attractive Gallus.
Oh. But no. Julio is like,
Yeah, hi, Kingsley. You're actually Why you have a bottle? What's happening?
Well,
You guys were planning a party. I kind of crashed it.
no. I try to check in on Bron maybe, once or twice a week, make sure he hasn't blinded himself again. But most nights I tend to frequent at least, one or more of the local taverns, find somewhere that's willing to listen to me perform and earn a bed, maybe some drink for the night.
God, more than a bed. He's very good. Very good.
Oh, what do you play?
Well, I suppose you can take your pick, but most of the time, I don't have it with me, unfortunately, but a lyre.
Ah,
The lyre bird.
that's lyre. That sounds exciting. Okay, well, I have a question for you. You said you need money for board and such. You don't have a stable income, I'd wager.
Well, stable enough, but not in the traditional sense, no.
All right. Well, there is something that I really need help with to help the town and Lady Caspia. I would be willing to reimburse you because I kind of sort of have money nowadays. If you're willing to help us.
This sounds like an adventure.
Yeah.
It is.
No need for money then. I'm in.
Ah, lovely. In that case, you'll probably get a good song out of it because we have dark mage order. We have treasure hunters stealing from the jungle. We have sacrifices for abandoned gods. It's pretty cool.
That does sound like quite the song. All right.
And I gotta fix my rock.
And yeah, Bron needs to fix his rock. Well, it's not your rock. You kind of have to return it, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
yeah. Fix the rock. Fix the rock. Yes.
Fix the rock. Yes, good. Yeah. So I relay Kingsley the information, so he knows what's going on.
Sure.
Right.
You'd spend sort of a half hour giving the information. They're both fully caught up to speed, and then there is another knock on the door. Bron is very popular this evening, and the little Tilia girl that you saw before, Dory, pokes her head around. She has brown scales and a yellow belly, long fingers and wide eyes of a gecko. So like the broad finger pads at the tips.
Cute.
She is wearing. She also wears worn leathers, like a 12-year-old in armor. But this is the armor of. She is a thief more than a fighter. She carries a small dagger, but it's better for slitting purses than throats. And she smiles shyly at the three of you, and says, "Hello."
Hi, Dory.
It's Dory.
Yeah, Dory's here to take us to the campsite where treasure hunters are.
Mrs. Eskander told me to. Yeah, I didn't take anything from there.
That's good.
Only saw stuff. Mm-hmm.
Well, while we're traveling there, can you give us any more details? What have you seen of them?
Well, there is the hunters themselves are four. There is the leader is an Eliram white fur called Nadia. She's very very cool actually looking, nearly as cool as you. And then there is a wizard they have, I think. He looks like one. He's a servant. She describes him, and the picture she paints is a mountain goat. And he is all cold, and like even in the daytime, even in the hot, he is cold to look at. I don't know how, but that would be nice. Then there is Jerbine, like you, a bard. She's always making the music, but she seems grumpy. And the fourth was Josh now struggling to remember. Oh yeah. A Vulpin, a paladin, I think. He has the big sun from Ardea on his armor. Yeah, he is big, dangerous man. And they're all like partying.
Dang. Yeah. Okay.
But
Gang.
they've hired a bunch of the tree wardens as guides and like for more, I think, muscle, basically.
Okay. As we're walking there, Huda will turn to the lads and also to Dory and say, "Okay, gang, I haven't been here for a long time, but what I do know from personal experience is that sometimes, talking to people is better than killing them. I can't see a reason why they would not be amenable to just leaving the sacrificial rocks behind if we just calmly explain the situation. What do you think?"
Yeah, I think any intelligent person would leave a magical rock well alone. Yes.
Yeah. Who would touch that? Yeah. But because there's more of them than there are of us, we have 3.5, they have 4. We need to maybe sort of like listen in a little bit. Yes?
She goes, well, they also have like 30 tree wardens.
Yeah. So, how do we feel about just listening in, how good or bad they are, and then talking to them maybe?
Yes.
Sure.
How good are you guys at sneakiness? Uh-huh.
I'm
Okay.
passable, but I'd probably be better suited to helping you move around.
I'm very sneaky, but I was told to not go with you.
Yes. Nor should you. Okay. Then how about you guys help me sneak? I'll just pop in, give a good little listen, and then we'll go in and say, "Leave the rocks, please."
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Okay.
All right.
So Dory takes you to the campsite. When you get there, the camp, it is apparently a semi-permanent setup, though the inhabitants are constantly changing. The wooden huts and fire pits augmented by tents and lean-tos erected by the wanderers and travelers. It is used mainly as a sort of base camp for those heading into the jungle. It's a sort of mid-evening at this point, and a lively bonfire is burning. There are a large group listening to a Gerbine bard. Most of the listeners are Tilia, and have the look of tree wardens about them. Tilia, again, the lizard folk, and yeah, you know that a lot of them, like, there are tribes of them living in the jungles. They perform a similar function to the tenders of the Humblewood. But there is also a few other travelers and hunters mixed in. At the center is the bard and a trio of hard-bitten-looking adventurers. The servant, the three that were described, basically. The Elrin woman also is white-furred and has quick eyes and a whip at her waist. The chicken tenders, they return. No, these are lizard tenders. These are true Macca's chicken tenders, containing a maximum of 30% actual chicken meat.
Scandalous.
You may make me perception checks, please.
Excellent. Awesome. I am gonna. Oh yeah. Also, the pink dice.
Hey,
arrived.
they arrived.
So
Splendid.
they're getting their first workout tonight.
Awesome.
Excellent. Roll. 18.
An 18.
17.
17.
Hey!
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. So you all get to the edge. This is sort of, it's a public enough place that the arrival of 3 new people wouldn't be like, who are you? So you don't immediately get just singled out as like, what the hell? And you can listen in relatively easy. This party is a celebration. These guys are celebrating their successes. Listening in, you manage to glean the following information. To get to the temple, the companions, as they call themselves, crossed a rickety rope bridge, barely able to take their weight over the Red Raw River. Splitting the jungle in twain, the bridge was the only crossing to the Temple of Nabar. The tree wardens guided them to this, so it was not an easy thing for them to find. You pick up that the group is called the Companions of the Blue Rose. When they got there, the wizard, whose name is apparently Matteo, it was his job to disarm the temple's traps. And at the mere mention of the subject in the song, Matteo basically just shuts the song down. He casts silence on the bard and says, no. We do not talk about the traps in the temple. He's a very thick accent. He is clearly Fernveld native. He says, no. We do not talk about those traps. We spoke of this before. I do not want any more nightmares. And turns off the silent spell again. And the bard, who is a bit miffed by this, continues. The implication, however, is very much that the traps were dangerous and dreadful. And merely talking about them, yeah, he doesn't want to even think about them. Eventually, they apparently reached a room with a pedestal bearing the heart of Darko. They cleverly replaced it, Indiana Jones style, with a bag of sand of equal weight. On a pedestal. Beside the pedestal stood a huge stone construct. And given the construct's gaping chest wound, it is quite possible that the construct was defeated in a confrontation. Kingsley also picks up an implication very faintly from Matteo, muttering that the traps probably reset themselves after they left the temple.
Okay.
The gang is very chuffed with themselves, and you overhear Nadia, the leader, who has she has a sort of swashbuckling appearance her own self, Julio. Green silk blouse with the big puffy sleeves and a pair of dark tan breeches. She would not look in any way out of place on the deck of a pirate ship. But she, one earring, long dangly earring, a whip at her belt, and a brace of daggers down across her chest. She is extolling to a pair of other travelers, hunters by the looks of them, that the funds that they will raise from selling the Heart of Dako will fund their next 5 adventures. She plans to be a full-time treasure hunter.
Mm-hmm. And as far as I understand, the Heart of Dako is one of the sacred rocks.
It is the sacred rock you have come to look for, yeah.
So it's the only one that was stolen, yeah?
As far as you were getting from them, they took exactly 1 rock.
Shit, okay. Oh. So, and no more talk of, there is also a hoard of gold that we stole, no? Just the rock?
No, it's not that kind of temple.
Shit, okay.
You also pick up that the Heart of Dako is in one of the tents. And you figure out which one fairly easily, because there are always at least half a dozen Tilia tree wardens outside of it at any one point. They are all armed with vicious-looking sabers and heavy crossbows. You also know that Tilia, particularly those of the jungle, tend to specialize in poisoned weaponry.
Mm-hmm. Cool beans.
I think that's probably a Bronn and Kingsley piece of knowledge. I don't think Julio is familiar enough with this place to know that much about them, but yeah.
Sure. I think if that's the case, I do think that Kingsley will just sort of look down towards Julio and just, so do you still feel good about talking to them? Or are we thinking something a little more clandestine?
I don't know. My kind of whole philosophy nowadays is that anyone can change and do good. So, I mean, we're also a democracy. So, Bronn, Dory, Kingsley,
Doria's gone.
Fuck.
Dory has been. She's a 12-year-old and been told very sternly by the lady who raised all 3 of you to not hang out with you. Like, those are dangerous motherfuckers. You come right home, young lady.
That's fair. Okay, well
Incredible.
Then, I think it's up to us to decide. I think there's still a chance that they understand how important this is to the city and to the jungle overall. What do you guys think?
I would feel bad just taking it.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't, given they're planning on selling it for money.
Right.
But I did have a couple of ideas. I'm happy to help if you want to try to, sneak around and do whatever it is you need to do. We could also lie to them and tell them it's cursed.
I mean, it is sort of kind of cursed.
Right?
With the curse
Exactly.
of guilt
It's
on
not
killing
even-
the jungle.
It's not even wholly a lie.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's fair. But how would they just believe me? I am also an adventurer, right? If I find something in the forest that I think, oh, I just got this with blood, sweat, and tears, and some dudes are saying, give me it, it's bad for you, I would need a bit more convincing and evidence than that.
Hmm. So, stealing?
Okay, do we have any? Well, we have a Braun who's good at making things, and well, as a
punching.
fellow, and that and as a fellow performer, I think we can maybe try to give some credence to the claims that this is bad to take from the jungle for the city and for them. How would we accomplish that? Can we have a little the prestige, a little performance that we can pull to make ground shrivel up under them and someone's covered with boils, not actually hurtful but very yucky?
Well, I could actually maybe do the opposite. Make them think the jungle's coming for them.
Ooh, I can if I get a stone or a twig or something, I can put
Those are stones.
it's always stones. But I can put little recordings in them with my tools. I've got a couple of so I can build little messages or lights into tiny little objects, so we can turn them on or off.
Oh, we can some ominous whispers are coming from everywhere around them. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Dory hasn't gone. She is there. She just sort of appears behind Julio and taps you on the shoulder and is like, "Thank you. I'm not. I won't because Mistress Eskander told me not to. But I thought I'd at least stay in. I really want to see how you guys go. So it occurs to me, maybe both. ¿Por qué no dos?
Yeah.
One of you, maybe Kingsley, he is very good at talking to people. He goes and talks to them, while someone else sneaks, and if they need to, then steals.
Yeah,
Because if they say no, then what?
Yes, and Kingsley, as far as I remember, you're pretty good at commanding attention of the room. So we can pull something that we kind of did in the past.
Absolutely.
But you guys did that sort of thing before?
No. And we could never, ever steal anything from Lady of the House. How dare you even suggest that, child?
Absolutely not.
No, I didn't.
Not one of us.
I will never be accused of stealing anything that was not readily replaceable. As he cracks his fingers.
That's not the
All
way.
right.
Okay.
In that case, I trust you, Kingsley, to put on good faith persuasion try, because I don't want to really lie to these people too much. They seem powerful and also brave to go into the jungle, but driving the point that this is bad for the jungle and for them would be pretty neat. And if we can go without stealing, that would be perfect. But I meanwhile will sneak around and be in position to yoink it.
And I'll make scary rocks.
Yes, you make scary rocks.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How do the scary rocks help? I'm sure they do. I just don't. Me and the DM are both confused.
Well, the scary rocks are for the atmosphere. When Kingsley says the things are haunted and the curse is
Cursed.
coming for you, ominous whispers.
So
appear from
mechanically,
all
this is a help action from Bron. Okay. I love it. So, Julio is going to sneak into the tent where they think the heart of Darko is being kept. whilst Kingsley and Bronn are going to go in and try and convince everybody that the thing is cursed and that you should just give it to them.
And I think just before we all sort of split off to sort of pursue our own tasks, I do think that Kingsley will sort of like lean down a little bit, placing a hand on Julio's shoulder and look him in the eyes and just, good luck, Tiger. And as he says that, his eyes are going to flash gold for a second, and I'm going to cast Enhance Ability and give you advantage on all dexterity checks for the next hour.
Very good. Julio in return will wink at Kingsley and say,
You two guys.
and you get a 1d6 inspiration, bardic.
2 bards
wink,
in
wink.
one party.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I almost forgot I had those. I'll throw you one as well.
Oh, Bron just sees these two congratulating each other. You too. Oh, you
Bron's
both
just
so
like
big and huge.
Sitting
Cool,
there
guys.
eating some rocks.
No, not
Well, I mean, he
anymore.
just got given a geode. I'm pretty sure they're rocks with extra flavor. So
Yeah.
Crunchy.
Salty. I love it. Okay, so
There's also d6, yeah?
yes.
Okay.
6.
okay, so you do this. I think let us Kingsley and Bronn. You're going in loud. How loud and how big are you going?
I think Kingsley will wait a bit for Bronn to get his rocks together first, and then once you've got that sorted, I'll kick things off.
Cool.
Oh, and one question: the tent that is heavily guarded is it in the earshot of the camp so I can hear them
Yeah,
declining or accepting? Okay, sweet.
And how many guards did you say were on it?
There is. You would think it's hard to make out, but you would guess probably about 3 inside. It's also not huge,
That's fine. That works for me.
but a distraction would probably be handy. Like an argument with a lady, say. Yeah, and Dory is up a tree watching this entire business. She's like, I really want to see how this goes. She's really curious to see the pros in action. So, Bronn, what do you like? So that there is a bard playing music. Quite a lively tune. It's not the kind of party where everyone's dancing, but everyone is enjoying the music. Music is very much a fact of life in Espinorra. And so, yeah, bards are, I think, very common and treated. There's a fair amount of like respect. It's a social standing for one of the people who provides the music. And it's just a sort of a way people live here, is there is always music. So, yeah, the Gerbine is playing a song. They are, however, not local. They are Fernveld natives. So, yeah. What do you guys do?
Well, I have to start by picking up a rock.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pull out my little tinkerer's tools and like bop it and do some magical like screwdrivering, and basically I'm gonna cast magical tinkering on it.
Yep.
So I can-
What does it look like? Paint me a word picture with your mouth.
what does the rock look like? Oh, the process.
Like the process.
Oh, yeah, cool. So, yeah, first of all, starts off with like mundane tools, just shapes the rock a little bit, but then gets out like a couple of special, obviously magical tools that change the flow of magic around the rock, and alter it a little bit. And as I'm doing this, I'm kind of whispering into it the ominous whispers that we want recorded. And getting it all kind of looped in and tucked into the rock and tying it up. And then as I'm finishing, I have an idea, and I say to Kingsley, I can make another one smell if you want. That's not going to help, is it?
It might. And I think, can you make one smell like rot?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Excellent.
Great, cool. I'll need another rock.
This whole
are
supplement
you
with
honest?
rocks is so good.
Are you looking at me and going to tell me in all honesty that he doesn't just have a pack or like a pocket of full of small rocks, stones, sticks, and pebbles?
No, he's honest, no. He doesn't like rocks that much, and they're everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he picks it up another rock and makes it smell like rot. Cool. Yeah, I'm imagining it like little waves of magical energy flowing out the tips of the tools. Sort of sonic screwdriver-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not a monster, only free range rock for this guy. Does he have a pet rock? He's like, no, bad rock.
No, because he might eat it.
Yeah, that's true. He's really good at digesting heavy plant matter, though. Cool. So Bron does that, and Kingsley. Now that you are fully equipped with a wide variety of rocks, what do you do?
All right. So, yeah. Now that the rocks are all sort of there, I think. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to sort of project sound that doesn't sound like myself, which is unfortunate. But actually, I tell a lie because I totally do. So I believe that with that, before I think sort of staying towards the edges of the camp and kind of like I think pulling back behind a tent a little bit in an attempt to kind of obscure himself from at least common view, so it's not obvious what he's doing. You'll see him kind of kneel for a second, I think like searching around almost until tucked in amongst some grass he kind of doesn't like pull it up from the ground but kind of just cups his hands beneath this small like a weed, like, you know, one of those like big sort of flat ones that grows out and just like smothers the grass under it.
Oh yeah.
And as he sort of finds one, begins to whisper to it, and you see some more of that kind of golden dust kind of shake and shimmer off the crest on the top of his head. As I'm going to cast plant growth.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to target the, like, you said they're standing where the bard is in the middle. Did you say they were standing on a stump?
Yeah, sure. I didn't, but they are.
Oh, awesome. I just painted the scene myself. There we go.
Nope.
Whoops.
That sounds great. I love it.
But yeah, and I think as he completes it, the weed kind of just sort of folds in on itself and disappears into the floor before, as per plant growth, a 100-foot radius centered on the trunk suddenly becomes fully overgrown with plants as all these weeds force themselves rippling up out of the ground and up out of the stump. Some of them, I think, in order to avoid too much chaos, because I can choose where to leave some parts unopen, none of them spring up directly in any of the fires.
Right.
But everywhere else.
Okay, cool.
As it all sort of just all fills the space, and I think that he'll sort of signal to Bron and begin to move into the camp.
Yeah, there was a relative cry of like, oh, goodness, it's not like, oh no, plants, but it is a shock and surprise. It's not like it's a more of a yeah.
I think, and as they sort of break the tent, the side of the tent, he'll move probably a few steps in, waiting until he's almost sort of at like the inner ring of people, before he sort of pipes up, carrying his voice as best he can over the sounds of everyone sort of muttering at the sudden appearance of plants, and just, it appears you've brought the curse upon yourself. Unfortunate.
Bron is just behind him like, no, oh dear. Silly rabbits. And Josh now has to adjust his accent. What do you mean? Says the Eluran woman. What is it you want? Why are you here?
Well, from our performer friend over here, I heard that you had retrieved none other than the Heart of Darko, an incredible prize, but not one that comes without a cost.
What do
that
you
artifact
mean?
is the heart of this jungle. This jungle will slowly die without it, and it is coming for what is rightfully its. As he kind of like lifts a foot to emphasize it, like out of the plants that are trying to entangle it.
Mateo, the frosty, in more ways than one, servant wizard, pipes up and says, "Don't be ridiculous. That is just an old wife's tale. They are not real. There is no curse. This is... I'm sure... I mean, if you are saying that this is going to kill the forest, then why is it growing so fast?"
If someone tried to walk out of your house with everything you owned, do you think you just let them leave?
So, you would have us return it back from where it
Well,
came?
I would advise it, unless you enjoy being cursed, in which case, obviously, be my guest. But I simply thought that a friendly warning might be appreciated.
All right. And Bron, you have... I think now is the time for your added mise en scène. So, yeah. Do you sort of surreptitiously...
Just out of a pocket. So that suddenly the
Scattering
noise.
little rocks around. In which case, can you make me a sleight of hand check?
Oh, good.
Oh, please. Oh, please. You have inspiration, by
I
the
do.
way.
I might need to use that. Yes. To roll higher than a 6. Oh, okay. It's a 12.
A 12. Alrighty. Yep.
bad.
Yeah. The dude behind you in the weird armor is just throwing rocks on the ground. I think it looks a little like you're trying to keep the plants at bay.
Amazing.
So you sort of get away with it. And Kingsley, seeing as you have this is effectively the help action. Make me a persuasion check with advantage. The DC, however, is very high.
Could I make this deception?
Yeah.
Because
I'll
I'm
allow
lying
that.
to
Yeah,
them.
you are lying to them.
Excellent.
It's like the opposite of Julio. I have
to
all persuasion here, so
Okay. The question is, I'm going to burn the D4 just... Actually, no, I'm going to burn the D6 just
Do
to
that.
be safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that
The
is
whole point
another
of it.
3, which means, hang on, that is a total of 29 with a 14 on the dice.
Whoa! Okay, so
Because I took expertise in deception.
I did a basic sort of like, okay, so I'm going to say the DC is 15 plus whatever I roll on this D10. So the DC was 22. To convince them of the bullshit you are spreading. And
Excellent.
Nadia looks at you sort of, so, you think this curse, how do we break it then?
Well, I suppose you return what was stolen. If that's amenable. While this is happening, also, I am going to trigger one more feature, if that's okay. So, I've been talking for like roughly a minute, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Excellent. That being the case, just to make extra sure, all 4 members of the party need to make a wisdom saving throw against my Glamour Bard's enthralling performance.
Let's go.
And if they fail, they are charmed by me for the next hour.
Oh, I love Glamour Bard. They're never used. Heck yeah.
Wisdom save. I doubt that's any. Oh no. Yeah, I reckon all but
It's
Nadia. What's
it's
the
a
DC?
DC 16.
Okay, yeah, no, Nadia would save. But the rest,
that's
no.
fine.
Yeah.
And it does say in the ability, just to be sure as well, succession does not tell them that they were going to be charmed by the effect.
Yeah, yeah.
So the other 3 believe me, but
Yeah.
or they're charmed, but yes.
Yeah. They believe you about the curse. Nadia says, well, it is unfortunate, but I don't believe that the forest will die just because I take a rock. And I don't plan on staying here long, so these plants, will not be a problem for too long either. I doubt the curse has its powers still over in the Fernveld.
Might I ask your name?
I am Nadia Da. Perhaps you have heard of me. In fact, she strikes a pose. It's like, I am Nadia Da. And pulls out her whip and sort of cracks it.
And I think sort of like looks her up and down for a moment, and just an impressive specimen, to be sure. And thank you for your name. Now I shall know that if I ever do travel, I can find out what befell you as a result, and you might make quite the song.
Ooh. That's an intimidation.
All right. I am going to. Yeah, why not? I'll use the D4. We'll get it all in there.
Hell yeah.
I'm not quite as good at intimidation, but it is a 19.
Very well. Let's see what Nadia rolls. Ooh. Okay. Nadia says, Mateo, what do you think? And Mateo goes, Nadia, I do not like the idea of messing around with curses. But the tree wardens, will they let us take it back? And Bron, you are more in the position to notice several of the tree wardens are not. They A, do not believe you guys, and B, even if they it's not so much that they don't believe you. They're like, yeah, this would be great.
Fuck! That's the cult! That's the cult! That's the tree warden. Oh my god!
Yeah, so whilst the company of the Blue Rose have been convinced, the tree wardens do not, they are sort of limbering up a little bit.
I've got Kingsley.
Kind of looks around, and I think if I see it, there'll definitely be sort of a moment of, well, I certainly don't mean to interrupt your festivities, and as I said, you are free to take whatever course of action you deem the most appropriate. I simply thought it would be a shame for such fine adventurers to not have at least been warned. And kind of gives a half bow as he is as he's been talking, fully moved to the top center of the stump and has been wildly gesticulating and kind of spinning it like a story to the entire camp.
Yeah, I love it.
And I think as he's saying this as well, will sort of flick his eyes, just sort of scan the crowd, but also above their heads, looking to see if he can spot Julio near the tent.
We will cut to a quick breaklet, and then we shall find out how Julio went within the tent. So, guys, thank you so much for playing with me so far. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. You have thrown a real spanner in my works already, so good job.
Yes.
I was like, don't try and convince them not to. Damn it, you really convinced them not to. Alrighty, so we will have a short little breaklet and be back in 5 to 10. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Vast ahoy, g'day mateys, we be back for some more Humblewood. In fact, for some more Everden. We are not in the Humblewood today, we are in the Tangle Wilds, a different forest, very different, much wow. So, Julio, you're about to steal a rock.
Yes. I was intently listening behind the tent and question.
Not in tent, out tently listening.
Yes. You stinker. I have a question. Did Julio hear the little side comment of "We're not sure these guys will let us bring it back"?
Maybe not. Perception check.
Yes, please, because
It would
okay.
be. Ooh.
perception plus 4. That's 20. Dirty 20.
20. All right, yeah. I think Julio is sort of listening in on this, like, please succeed. It sounds like you're going to succeed. I don't think they're going to let us. Fuck. And Julio very much becomes aware very quickly of the half dozen tree wardens that are like around the tent, around and in the tent.
Yeah, okay. So if he heard that, suspicions are bubbling in Julio's mousy little heart. And he's like, oh, fuck, those the Fazar people. Okay, I'll sneak in. I'll yoink this shit.
Yeah.
And I have advantage.
You do. So, make me a stealth check.
Stealth-a-reno. I'm good at that. Oh, okay. Stealth. Plus 12. That is 27.
Daria, are you rolling on the D&D Beyond?
No, I'm rolling with my real dice.
I've got.
I can roll inside.
No, that's totally fine. I've just got it up, but no one is. Everyone's rolling physical dice.
I saw the rolling physical. I'm like,
it's totally fine.
Maybe.
It doesn't matter at all. I just won't bother next week.
It's been a while since I rolled actual physical dice.
It's nice to roll actual click-clacks. That's the whole point of having them. So yeah, no, I have no problem with it at all. I just won't bother next time. Yeah, cool. Sorry, how did you do?
27.
27. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So Julio, how do you approach this? You absolutely succeed. How do you get in? Is it cut a hole in the wall of the tent, or do you go under, or what?
Julio, I think, small enough and nimble enough to try and sneak in without leaving traces.
Uh-huh.
So he would worm his way out under the pins that usually hold the tent down. So he'd find a little hole,
Goes under.
sneak in. Yeah.
Yeah. Fred Flintstones his way under.
Yeah.
Julio,
and he's very aware that people inside are probably on high alert, so he's staying low.
Well, within the tent, actually what the lads have done has not been unhelpful, because yes, the tree wardens are sort of preparing themselves, but they're also preparing themselves for one particular direction. And all three of the tree wardens within this tent are are near the tent flaps. It is an interesting thing. Tents, obviously, super permeable things. They are not a house. You can come in them really from any direction you like, but they still treat the flap like a door. Like, people are still like, oh, they'll come in through here, obviously. So, yeah, it's odd like that. But, you sneak in, and there is a small chest of treasure in here. Gold, silver, gems. And on the top, very much sort of pride of place, sitting on this pile of gold, is a large red rock. In fact, I shall find a picture of it so that I can describe it to you better. Let me see. It's the Heart of Darko is an egg-shaped thing. It is it is roughly oval and egg-shaped, and it is hollow. It is made of a copper or bronze material, and it is sort of filigree, like thick bars of metal surrounding, floating within it, a red gemstone that emits a soft red light. It looks a little like an Eye of Sauron, but it does not actually have a pupil within it. Actually, that's not a bad reference generally for the sort of the style of the metalwork as well. It is a bit Mordor-esque, but it does not give off a radiance of like a nasty. It feels quite wholesome for all that it looks a bit metal.
Yeah. With just before Julio touches anything, just to make sure, I'm not very good at Arcana, or maybe investigation would be the way to go. Julio just wants to check if there's any like traps or anything like that would alert people if it's like lifted.
Yeah. Yeah. Investigation for traps, certainly.
Yeah, I'll go for investigation.
Just like a little pile of coins that'll just.
I mean, there is that.
That's not bad. 17.
You're having to be quick and you're having to be very quiet. So you think the main risk here is, disturbing the pile of coins it rests upon. This thing is obviously inherently magical. Your elemental sense is pinging with life magic.
My elemental eye probably like.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
So like you didn't ask for it, but it's so prevalent there that you're like, wait, I can see out of my life eye through my eye patch. Thing is, it's not like the life magic you've encountered before, but it definitely has the vibe of life magic. Which is
In that
cool.
case, I am not touching any of the coins. I want them to have something for their troubles, but the rock I will carefully lift and
Okay.
away.
A sleight of hand, please.
Okay, and I still have advantage because that's
On dex
Yes,
checks.
that's-
Yep.
That's a dex check.
Heck yeah, movie. Ooh, one of them is 19. That's very good. 19 plus 8, that's 27.
27. Yeah. Okay. You successfully lift the thing without making any noise. It is very warm to the touch. Not like hot, but like ooh. Like if I was in a cold place, I would cuddle this. As it is, probably a little uncomfortable to hold. Like no, not. Okay. But like it's pleasantly warm. If you have any minor cuts, bruises, scrapes from working your boat on your hands, like you would have calluses and so forth from working the sheets and so forth, you probably don't notice initially, but any damage to your fingers, any sort of just the cuts and scrapes that we get through daily life, close up. Your hands are in mint condition
Nice.
within 30 seconds of holding this thing. I presume you leave.
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
very well.
I skid out. Well, a question. Before I leave, Julio has suspicions about these fellows, about these tree dudes. Would that be perception or insight to try and because Julio has been around cults for a while now.
Sure.
Do they exhibit any signs or markings or anything that I would be able to latch onto and say these are not tree tenders of this place?
I mean, they definitely, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. These guys are definitely tree wardens.
Okay.
You have identified them as such by sight. That's definitely what they are. I will get you to make a history check.
History check.
Yeah, because it goes more to what you would have learned as a kid.
Okay. I'm not very good at history.
You do have a bardic inspiration if you want to spend it, though.
Yeah, but that's a natural one, so
You do
I'm
also
not
have
gonna.
inspiration. You also have inspiration.
I do, but do I want to use it now? Yes, because if I really need it, Ardana gets me,
Reminds
right?
me.
Oink,
Yeah,
oink.
yeah. It also reminds me that John has spent his too, so I just need to.
And I should probably use my bardic, otherwise it's gonna be gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's better. This 6. Well, anything's better than fucking 1.
Very true.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 14 plus 3. That's 17.
17. Alrighty. A GM for life. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. And McBestington as well. Thank you very much for the follow, matey. I know that was a few days ago, but I didn't. I wasn't live when it happened. So yes. A 17. You recall stories about the Elluran Empire that you were told at the orphanage, and that the Tilia of the Tangle Wilds were never. They never signed up for it. They never bent the knee to the Elluran emperors. That they were always very strongly opposed to the Ellurans, and the Tilia were always sort of a bit always at each other's throats. There was no peace between the tribes of the forest and the empire. So
I see.
technically because they lived within the empire, they were citizens of it, but not by choice.
So they might not be full-on cultists of Bazaar, but they definitely stand to benefit from the city kind of getting weaker so they can reclaim their territory.
It's more sort of, I mean, that, but also I think, the inference you're drawing is like the Fizar people. It's nothing to do with that. The Tilia were as against them, if not more. They were messing up the forest. The Tilia hated that too. The Tilia, however, the civilization that sprang up in this place, the Tilia were just firmly against. So it's more, you are looking for a temple of an Elluran goddess. And
which
this
is not their seas.
an artifact of the Ellurans. This is basically, that's the trick.
So regardless of what it's doing to the forest, they're just like, nope, don't like it.
Yeah,
It doesn't
fuck this
necessarily
shit.
mean all Tilia, hashtag not all Tilia, but certainly this particular group of Tilia have apparently a strong, powerful desire to have this thing out of their fucking forest.
Gotcha.
But they couldn't
Alright.
get it out themselves, interestingly.
Yeah, that's interesting. With that, a little bit of information, Julio will definitely skedaddle and reunite with Dory under the tree.
Very well. I need another stealth check to get out, but you have
That's
advantage
fair.
on so many things.
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah, that's a natural 19 plus a lot.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Somewhere in the low 40s, Julio gets out like a ghost.
Yeah, my
I do
stuff is
remember.
plus 12.
I think, yeah, there was one point where you did roll a natural 40. Because
It's not a natural 40.
well, no, but,
but
you rolled a
I
straight
got
40 on something because
That's
on
an unnatural 40.
yeah,
that's
it's a
what that
deeply
is.
an
unnatural.
I think
I-
it was like
Pass
with
without
advantage
trace had been
and
cast.
Pass without trace. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, when you and Brendan, I think when you and Eric snuck into the council chambers, they were level 8, and one of them rolled a 40. And it wasn't even a max number either. It wasn't even a crit.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, Julio gets out and makes it to the tree line relatively easily. Kingsley and Bron, I think you rolled so high, Julio, they didn't even see you.
Boy, I hope she's all right.
But you do see, I think what you would notice is Dory looking down and chatting and like whispering to somebody beneath them, but you cannot see the person beneath them. Even though Julio is standing in plain sight, they've just missed it. They're sort of out of step with reality by about half a second.
Nice.
Oh, it's like 60 hertz cameras pointing under these fluorescent lights. Just
Yeah. The frame rate on this guy is a little
Yeah.
weird. Alright,
Leo's just
Julio
lagging.
will show up under their cape, like,
Yeah.
Got it.
Cool. Good job.
Yeah.
And then Dory looks into you guys and goes, like, very like, come here. Come, we're good.
I think that being the case, then I do think that he'll sort of like notice it and will sort of take a few steps over towards the sort of the tall cat lady and just, well then, best of luck in your adventures. I hope you find everything you're looking for on subsequent. And I hope I might see you again. As he'll reach down and kind of like take her hand and do like the little sort of gentlemanly
Ooh.
kiss on the paw.
charmer. Look at
Oh.
you. Real glamour
Um,
bard.
So she's like, yeah, whatever. I've been played by better than you, mate. However, her 3 offsiders are like, oh la la. They are fully
This
on
girl
board.
is-
Like, it's like, like Mateo goes like, you should.
I think he'll sort of spare half a glance to Mateo and just, if she decides to lighten up later, you'll know where to find me. And then we'll turn around and sort of begin to leave the camp.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, you do that, and reconvene back with Julio at the edge of the forest, or possibly a little bit further away from the camp. And Dory goes, "Okay, so I'm gonna go because I'll be in trouble if I stay any longer. But that was really cool. Great job. Should I tell Mistress Eskander that you you're going and...
For now, just say that everything is being worked on. We don't want to like spread information too soon, but you did very well as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, she gives you a big thumbs up and says, "Good luck. You guys are cool," and goes.
She'll be a thief someday.
Oh, yes.
Someday is yesterday. Yeah. Where do you think she got the armor?
Yeah.
All right, Bron, how do you feel about me staying the night at your place? I didn't kind of think about where I'd be sleeping.
Of course, yeah, that'd be great. I'll clean some cogs from the floor. Yes.
Can you
Why
all
have
make
a
me
bed?
perception checks?
Yes. Oh
Yes.
God. Oh no. Oh, that's another natural one. Fuck me.
Perception.
I didn't take silvery barbs because I thought it was unfair.
Yeah, I hate that
I
spell.
wish I had.
Julio has it.
I never use it though.
I'm
That's
glad.
pretty good.
It's because it's bullshit.
Perception 15.
15.
22.
Okay, Bron.
Ooh.
Wow, for a low whiz, that's cool. So
I
Bron,
rolled 19.
yeah, right. You hear a hissing. Do you speak Tilia?
No.
No. In which case, yeah, you hear this sort of susurrating in the... You know how all forests have this sort of general low-level hissing, humming noise? It gets significantly more so. Like the forest itself is pissed. Initially you're like, oh, that's weird. And it basically... Bron is the first to happen to notice, and... You don't know what it means, but you do know that it is a large number of Tilia are getting angry about something, and they are quite close by. And then you hear a bark. Their language is very... I think I've used the word hissing a lot. I'm going to continue doing so. Hiss bass. So it's a crossbow bolt flies between the two of you as you look down at Julio, discussing where to find your bed under all the cogs. And
I think. Oh, sorry.
Run!
Yeah, we go.
I think if that happens, I do think he'll look to Julio and just kind of run, and then but looking towards Bron will actually just like put a hand on his shoulder. One moment, and then just sort of like turn to look from where it came from.
Ooh, badass.
As he does that, I think Bron is going to say, "It's time for old Betsy," and tap
if
the
if it's
armor.
another rock, I swear to God,
No.
if that's your cold rock.
No, he's going to spend an action to tap his armor and like don the guardian armor. So
Oh heck yeah!
now we find out what kind of artificer Bron is. Yeah, he's an armorer.
Yeah, armorer. Let's go.
Excellent.
Cool. What does this look like?
Okay, this is a cross between like invention mechanical stuff and like plant growing. It's somehow like this metal like pops out but also kind of grows sideways and just like throughout across all his body, like covers his head, covers his arms, covers his feet, and just like halfway between like Iron Man and I don't know, Poison Ivy.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Nice.
John, I'm going to give you inspiration for that description. That was very cool.
yeah.
Really enjoyed that. That.
And then he's going to send it. Like if Kingsley said, "Just hold on a minute," he's going to wait, but he's like,
Yeah.
he's ready.
Kingsley, what do you do?
I think Kingsley's fully just sort of like turned around to see where the bolt has like come from. He's not like raised his hands in surrender or anything, but he's like made no moves towards a weapon or towards anything. An understandable reaction, but I think he's fully just sort of turned and is trying to see where it came from and just sort of like looking confused.
There is about a dozen sets of Tilian eyes looking at you out of the jungle. Several are armed with blowpipes, others are armed with crossbows. Big ones. Their bolts are tipped with bone arrow tips, which have serrated heads that drip a nasty green fluid.
Can I help you, gentlemen? Also, I'm relying on the fact that I'm still holding enhance ability to hope that they didn't spot Julio and he's been able to keep moving. And it's just me and Bron here, hopefully.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I will gladly roll another stealth if I need to.
Yeah, let's have a
can't tell
stealth. I
where
don't think it's
Julio
going to
is.
matter, but yeah.
Sure. Let's go. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Yeah, okay. So Julio fucks. However, yeah, Bron and Kingsley, can you make me dex saves, please?
Oh, shit.
Because
fair,
they
I
just launch
don't
a
want to
bunch
just-
of bolts and arrows and whatever at you.
I don't want to
doesn't-
fully leave.
Uh-huh.
I want to be in earshot, so I'm hidden behind some trees. But if they get in trouble, I will need to bail them out. So
Okay, I have burned my inspiration.
Very well.
Because my first roll was not great.
So have I, because so was mine. Thank you for that.
And Lorite has just redeemed one for Julio.
Hey. 17.
Madonna's got you back. A 17?
15.
15. Okay.
that's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's not bad. It's not enough. But no, it's actually no, it isn't not enough. No. No, I apologize. The 15 isn't enough, but the 17 is. The DC was 16 because I have two different fail states, and you already did one thing that made it higher. So I'm going to roll 2d10s, and that's how much piercing damage you're going to take. Ooh, John, you take 15 points of piercing damage, and Kingsley takes half, so 7. As these arrows lance past you and through you, and probably would have been a lot worse. I imagine Bron sort of stands in front of Kingsley, and there is some tinking and plunking of the metal plant armor that is all over him. I'm imagining not so much poison ivy as Iron Man crossed with sort of Lord of the Rings elves.
Ooh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like Helm's Deep elves, like the leafy shapes and things. Yeah.
Yes.
So these chaps know what you have. I think it's fairly fair to imagine these guys. They saw you talking shit, but there was the gesture that was made. There was some vigorous pointing, and it was where Julio went, not necessarily at you guys. So a fair inference would be they know that you were with the person who took the thing.
How close are they?
Oh no.
20 feet or more. Like, it's somewhere between 20 and 50 feet. There's about 20 of them.
Well, there's about 20 of them. That's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think you guys should say.
Well, I have the question is, I think at this point, how loud we want to be. Because I could be very loud, or I could be a bit less loud.
Do you have dimension door?
No.
I've got rope trick.
Rope trick is very good, actually.
It is.
But then
I
he's
think
stuck there.
Yeah.
if we're maybe opting for something a little less loud, I think that, again, in the way of all good charlatans committing to the lie, sort of just like, I think one arrow like nicks the side of his face, and is like a bit of the blood comes away, and he'll just sort of like look towards them and just, I'm going to assume this was a misunderstanding, but you're going to leave us alone. And as he sort of sweeps a hand, there's that little like trail of gold again, and his eyes flash, and I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern on the group of them.
Ooh.
So they all need to make a wisdom save, and if they fail, they're incapacitated for a minute.
That's a fail. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, with a +1. Yep.
Yeah, I have a 16 DC, and so
Yeah,
you'll
they
just
got a
see as he
10.
sort of, it's hard to actually. Is Bron in front of me or behind me?
Yeah, in front, but not looking at.
Okay. If you're not looking at me, I don't think you'd notice it, but just like for the fun of describing it, just for a split second in that same gold sort of see-through, there's almost an ephemeral kind of like peacock tail that flashes out behind him for just a moment as it kind of just, and all of their eyes mirror that gold flash for half a second, and then as they all just sort of stand there, he's just going to look towards Bron and just, I think it's best we take our leave. These gentlemen are clearly, well, I don't know what they're doing. As he's going to sort of just grab his shoulder and just start walking away.
Bye.
Fox,
Nice.
Iron Man, and the rooster from Robin Hood head off. Scarper off into the trees. Julio, I imagine they catch up with you.
Yeah, I wait until it's clear that no one is like following them.
I mean,
to,
you've
like,
got a
appear
minute.
from the trees. Yeah, appear from the trees and say, okay, we need to like dash.
Yes, I don't think that Bron's house is particularly safe. It's probably well known. Forest.
Forest.
I have a boat.
Forest.
You have a
Excellent.
boat?
Okay.
I think if we start dashing like off the track, just start sprinting through the forest, at some point as we're running, as much as I'm kind of reluctant to burn it already, I want to make sure that we're okay. So I think there's another moment as this time not stopping. Oh, you go.
I will say, so at this point, I'm going to change the music to Jungle Pursuit. And
shit.
we are going to do a skill challenge.
Awesome.
I figure that's always a good way to resolve the thing. Cold sweat gathers upon your brows as the tree wardens give chase, but at something of a disadvantage. You have at least a good minute's head start on them. The jungle's dark and vicious embrace eagerly welcomes you, and the urgency lends vigor to each step as you run. This pursuit is going to be a series of skill challenges. How do you navigate your way through the jungle, avoiding and hopefully outpacing your pursuers? Each failure, there is a thing will happen. And each success, a good thing will happen. The DC is quite high because you're quite high level, and I imagine you're going to do your level best to think of the best thing to do in this situation. So, how do you navigate, get away, speed your way through? Each one of you can choose an ability and roll that to see if they can't beat the score, and if we need to go again, you have to choose a new ability. Dashes through the trees in a headless, frantic chase. Very nice. Headless.
Okay. That being case. Okay, I'll go first then. In that
well.
case. I have an idea.
And spells can be cast. If you cast a spell that would be useful, then it gives advantage on the ability.
Okay, I could plant growth again, which would set them back quite a bit. But I do think I want to preserve my last third level slot for now. So I think instead, as we are running, given he seems to have the ability to pretty much at all times, I think are there, because I know we're bird folk. Are there birds just full stop in the world?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely. Cool. Yeah.
In that case, yeah. As we are running, I think taking advantage of the fact that Kingsley can speak with animals, he is going to attempt to roll animal handling, hopefully, call out to a number of sort of like squads of birds as they roll past, basically just being, don't be alarmed, about a couple hundred meters that way, fly up in a storm, and just sort of try to get them to throw them off the chase by making it seem like we're disturbing birds in different parts of the forest.
Do be alarmed. Yeah, cool. All right.
Be alarmed over there.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind being alarmed in a particular place.
Please be alarmed in an orderly fashion.
Yes. Give me an animal handling check then.
Okay, that is so it's a 7 on the die, but I have plus 10 because I took expertise in animal handling, so 17.
Oh, Jesus, that's clutch.
You know what's really not clutch? that you needed an 18.
Yeah, that tracks. I don't think I have any way to improve that, unfortunately, so I will
Very
simply
good. It was very, very good. It's a deep shame. But, yeah. Yes, very well. Julio, what do you do?
Yes, I will use. I don't have much in terms of like terrain control or anything, but I do have druidcraft. I would like, as we're running, to try and persuade the plants behind us to just cover the tracks with leaves so that it's not easy to track our steps.
Disguising you. Yeah. Sure.
Yep. What would I need to roll for that?
I think it would just give, if you were making a survival check to sort of navigate, you could use that to give you advantage on going stealthily as well, I suppose.
Okay. Another question
I
then.
would allow it to provide advantage for either survival or stealth.
Oh, for stealth? Well, I already have advantage for stealth. Question.
Oh, actually, no. My spell dropped when I cast Hypnotic Pattern, unfortunately.
That's fine then. Then I'll try to go for stealth, and I'll
Very
try
well.
to use that.
So Julio is going at the back of the group, I think, and trying to cover everyone's tracks. Yep.
Does Julio have a
Yeah.
tail?
Yes.
I do have a tail.
I'm fully just imagining the like.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Julio is strapped
also-
to leaf or branch to his tail. He's just dragging along behind him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, so I rolled a natural 19, so that's a
Okay, that's a success.
31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's one success. And Bron.
This is great because I'm gonna try. I would like to pick athletics, and because he's still in his armor, I think he's going to be at the other end, going to be at the front of the group, just pushing through the forest,
Clearing
just
a path.
making a path.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like it. And
Nice.
that Julio
Heck
is
yeah.
then obscuring with plant growth or with druidcraft behind. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I love it. Alrighty. Athletics check.
Ooh, okay, 14, but plus 5 makes a 19.
19
Nice.
is one more than
Excellent.
you needed. So that is 2 successes and a fail, which means you've managed to find Julio after a little way. Almost accidentally, you find a small cave in which you can catch your breath. This would grant you the benefits of a short rest while you just recover a little bit from your exertions. However, you can all roll what you need to if you would like to regain any hit points or anything like that from hit dice. If you have any abilities that restart on a short rest, you absolutely can. But you do start to hear sort of the rustling of your pursuers following you behind. All of your efforts have slowed them down, but not quite enough. And emerging from the cave, you find a quartet of tree wardens. They are not aware of you, but they're looking for you. You have the opportunity to get the drop on them. So I presume you guys would probably roll initiative.
Yeah, baby.
Sounds like a plan.
So,
Boy.
ooh boy,
Oh boy. For me, it's a dirty 20.
Julio, Bron, and Kingsley, and then the tree wardens. Hey, sorry, Julio, what? How'd you do?
Dirty 20.
Filthy 20. Bron,
14.
14. Kingsley,
17.
a 17. And the tree wardens got a filthy 20 as well. But Julio will go first. I will give you a surprise round because of your 2 successes versus 1 fail. So Julio, you get to go first, then Kingsley, then Bron. Then Julio will get a second round before these guys get to have a go at all. There are 4 of them standing in a small clearing outside the door to your cave. We'll just do theater of the mind for this. And yes, what do you do, Julio?
Do any of them seem special, like magical, or just normal goons?
No, normal goons sort of thing. You know that the Tilia of the forest do not tend towards much magically. If any, it'll be ranger / druid style magic. They are... The civilized folk would call them savages. You know them to not be, however. They are quite a complicated and deep people, but not much in the way for metal work. So it's all sort of natural camouflages, leathers, and foliage, that sort of thing.
Nice. Okay. In that case, I'll try to like run up and jump on top of one of them, and I'm trying to go for non-lethal damage, because I don't think they deserve to die for this, but I would like them to not
Be
for
alive
now.
anymore.
I'm not trying to kill them, but I'm trying to like make them
yeah.
unconscious so we can leave.
Very well.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Make me an attack roll.
Yeah. Okay. So first, I'm gonna use my Susan's variable dagger.
Hells yeah. However,
oh, that's
if,
a natural 19.
if you are wanting to not lethal, then it'll be bludgeoning, not necrotic or radiant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get to stab them with Susan's dagger and not hurt them.
Yeah, that's fair. So natural 19 plus 8, I assume that's hits.
That's hopefully. If
Yeah.
the 27 doesn't do it, you guys are fucked.
That's fair. Okay.
It does.
And
It resolves.
sweet. I'm just gonna roll damage inside here because it's easier.
Swashbuckler damage incoming.
So plus sneak. Oh, that's a rough sneak. Holy. That's 12 damage.
12 damage. Total?
Yeah, pretty meh. Pretty meh. But I have a
damage?
second attack.
You do? With your
No, I
offhand
don't.
weapon?
My offhand, the Slod Slayer. That's what I
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Yeah. A boink. Or shaboink. Oh, actually, I'm not sure I will hit. That is a 8 plus 6. That's 14.
14 does not hit.
Yeah.
Nope. This stunned Tilia that you've sort of jumped onto the back of, with the look of a chameleon about him. The eyes swivel around to look at you as you jump onto his back, and he manages to sort of duck out of the way as you sort of bop him on the head. And the second bop, he's sort of like, nah! And yeah, you don't manage to cop him that one. But there we go. We actually get Julio's damage there. Awesome. And next would be Kingsley.
Okay,
They're
also-
all about 10 feet apart, just in terms of like, so for your own knowledge. Consider them to be in a rough square about 10 feet apart, with Julio
All right.
riding one of them now.
No worries. I did realize I should mention one small thing. I rolled really low. However, my familiar, who is invisible and has been for this session so far,
Right.
rolled a 5 on
Okay.
initiative,
Right.
and I assume is last.
Yep, that's true. 5. What is your familiar? I know they're invisible, but
So I can say currently they look like a bat.
ooh, cool, love it.
Just like a small bat. So I'm going to, with my turn, he's going to have his turn last. I think with that being the case, he's going to step forward. And you said they were like 10 feet apart, right?
Yep.
I think that he will sort of step forward towards 2 more of them. And again, just sort of like as he looks, eyes flash. And I think for a split second, those peacock feathers appear again before they sort of and almost like come down over him for a second, like they're almost like they're striking inwards.
Yeah.
Looking towards them, eyes flash again and just flee. And as he does that, I promise I'm just a bard.
Totally nothing else. Yeah.
But I am going to use my Fey presence ability.
Oh, what a just a bard you are.
And they need to make a wisdom save against becoming frightened by me until the end of my next turn.
This is 2 of them, or is it all 4?
2 of them.
Okay.
Only 2 of them because it's a 10-foot cube, so I'm
Right.
assuming I can only reach 2 of them.
Yeah. What's the number I need?
16.
I made it with both of them. I got
All right.
I got a 16 and a 17. That is a
Alright, fair
shame,
enough.
because that's a really cool ability, and I'm sad you wasted it. That's
all right.
They are.
I have a
One
lot.
of them takes a step back, like a whoop the other goes, it's like grimaces through it, I guess. Like, I'm not scared of you, bird boy.
All right, and then in that case, I think almost like taking a half step backwards, we'll just sort of all right, Bron, get in here, and is going to bonus action spend one of my bardic inspiration die to use Mantle of Inspiration. Everyone can choose to use their reaction to move their full speed if they'd like, and also all three of us and my familiar get 8 temp hit points.
Ooh.
Nice.
Very nice. So
Yeah,
bonus
in
action
that
can
case-
move you double.
So the way it works, so it's each creature can choose to immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So I've moved up. I'm going to use this to now move back away and
Sure.
leave that to the people who are meant to be on the front lines. But if Bron wants to use it to get in, or if Julio wants to reposition, whatever you guys want.
Yeah, I will definitely use it to get in amongst that.
Foxcall, who's it for? For Kingsley, very well. Kingsley, you have inspiration.
Oh,
Nice. I will do the opposite. I will just push from the back of the comedian with my back paws and like do a backflip and disappear into the bushes. Like, whew.
Oh,
Okay,
amazing! This is
sure.
so good. Oh,
All right. Bron.
you have set this up so well. Yes. Bob, no, before that though, I'm going to walk up to them. Hopefully I'm within 15 feet of all of them.
Yep.
Of a
If you go in the
sphere.
middle. Yep.
Yes, great. And then I will bonus action bop the gem and
Nice.
a blob of darkness
Hell yeah.
will cover all of us.
I love it.
So they can't see and neither can I. And you can't see them.
Yeah. So is it a 15-foot sphere of darkness? Just Bron walks just fairly casually into the middle. I just for flavor, you can't actually fly, but I feel like it's a Iron Man leap and land right in the middle, like an assisted jump more than a fly exactly. And then as he lands, beep, boom. And there's this cloud of black, this perfect sphere of black, centered on the middle of this fight. Julio and Kingsley looking on, go, huh. And Bron, that would be, is that a bonus action to activate that, or is that an action?
It's a bonus action. So then I'm going to punch them.
Are you going to punch the one Julio already bopped on the head?
Yeah, if he's in the middle, sure.
He's already wounded, that one, that's all.
Great. So I'm going to hit him with Betsy, who's the name of my armor.
Who or what is
Nice.
Betsy?
Betsy has thunder gauntlets.
Oh, good. It's that kind of armor. Great, great, great.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So I can. I've got my int mod to attack and
Hell
damage.
yeah. Alrighty.
So yeah, I will roll to attack, which is a 10 plus 8 for 18.
18 hits.
Yes. All right. In that case, I'll roll it on D&D Beyond. There, 2, but plus 4, so 6 damage
6 damage.
for my first attack.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
but-
Artificers, armorers get extra attack, don't they?
They do. They attack twice.
Hells yeah.
So roll again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What is that? Oh, that's a 4 plus 8, so that's a 12.
Not so much. Not so
Meh.
much. You do have advantage, do you
wait.
not?
I've got advantage on these because I'm in the dark and I have
Yeah.
blind fighting. Ooh, that's
Blind
much better.
fighting. Oh, that's smart.
They all have
that's a
disadvantage attacking him, too.
That's a
It's
17
this whole build. A 17 does hit.
plus 8. So yeah.
To build around the stolen artifact of your like adopted mother. What the fuck?
No, that would be immoral.
No, I mean.
Also, so he
never.
comes to the DM like 24 hours ago going, hey, I've got this really great idea, but it's actually the complete opposite of what the spell, my item does. Can I just break this item and fix it a different way? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. You can do this.
4 plus 4 is 8. So I've done
Another
6
8.
and then I've done 8 damage.
Love it. Yeah, he is still up, but you bopped him on the head twice.
Great.
No, 26. There we go. Yes, you have done a total of 26 damage to this boy. And he... You can't see what he looks like. But he looks concussed. But you can't see that.
He sounds concussed.
He definitely sounds concussed. Julio, it is your turn again before they get to have a go.
What about the familiar? Does familiar want
Oh
to
yeah,
go?
I apologize. The familiar does in fact get to have a go.
No, that is totally fine. I think I might pass his turn purely just because I don't think he can actually see through magical darkness. So I think no, that's fine.
He's currently a bat.
He's currently a bat, and well, he resembles a bat. He doesn't actually have the
Bat
echolocation
stats.
part.
No.
He just looks like one.
Yeah.
So I think he'll maintain his invisibility and just kind of hover near the edge of the cloud of darkness.
Very well. Okay. A bat hovering. Okay. Then it is Julio's turn.
It is my turn, Arena. Okay, so I have Okay, so I can create a spell with a 10-foot radius sphere. So that means everyone will be caught in it, right?
Yeah.
Because radius and that's the
Yeah.
diameter, so
Yeah.
I can get all of them. And I choose creatures, like each creature of my choice must take a Constitution save. So I can exclude
Bron. Yeah.
Brawn. So I'm casting Wither and Bloom in the Sphere of Darkness.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Good stuff.
I will. You know what I will do? I will hold the life stone to my chest, and with the other hand, I'm like outstretching my palm and making that like cycle of life and death flow through me. Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I'm
Alrighty.
doing.
Green
So
is
it's
the
a
one that's
con
injured.
save.
A con
Yeah.
save.
Save. Yeah.
Or nothing really. I don't think there's any successes there. Con is
I mean,
a plus
my
2.
DC is 14.
The best they got was a 13.
Ah, nice. So good.
I got
okay,
two
sweet.
10s, an 11, and an 8 with a plus 2. Yeah, not much.
Very nice.
That's what you want.
Sweet. Yep, that's what I want. So that means I have 2d6 necrotic damage.
Ooh.
Okay,
them
so
up.
that's 10 necrotic damage.
Woo.
And one creature of your choice there can spend and roll any of unspent hit dice. But I don't think any of us are injured. So
Bron's not hurt. Yeah.
chilling.
Cool. You have done 10 damage to all of them.
Yep.
Very nice.
And can I use my
Yes.
bonus action
You
to
can.
hide?
Yes, you may.
I shall.
Sure, you do that. Make a stealth check.
It's a 21.
Fine. You hide. They're all in darkness. They can't fucking see you.
That's true.
They all just feel very ill. As a point, do you have to be able to see the point you're aiming at?
The spell does not say that, so it is
Okay.
it is up to you
No,
if I need
that's
to.
that's fair. As long as the spell doesn't say you at a point you can see within range. If it doesn't say that, then you're all good. Very well. Then it's their turn, and all four of them are still up. However, not that you know this, the one that you all bopped a bit is looking very, very unhealthy. And they are all going to, with disadvantage, attack Bron.
There's a wild swinging in the dark.
What is
All
the
according to
number?
Bron's plan.
What is the number I need?
19.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, that's my
Jesus.
armor class. So you need 20, or do you need 19?
I need 19.
Yeah.
I actually got it.
What? With a disadvantage?
With
Holy
disadvantage, yeah. A 14 and a 20, like a 14 and a crit, which is sad, but yeah. So that's one of them. They all have 2 attacks each. They are attacking with their scimitars, not with their crossbows. That's a nat 1.
Good.
Oh, that was a 16. Holy shit! That's a pair of crits.
Oh damn.
Oh, crit through the disadvantage.
Crit through the
Wow.
disadvantage.
Incredible.
Alrighty. And then a 19 and a 10, that's sad. And a 4 and a 13, that's not going to hit. So I got 2 hits there. The crit.
Wow.
So, these creatures, their scimitars do 1d6 slashing damage. That is 5 plus 4, so 9 slashing damage, and 1d6 poison damage. That's a 6. So that is 11 damage on Bron for the first one. Can you make me a DC 13 save, please? Con save.
Con save. Fantastic. So I only rolled a 7, but I have +7 because I'm proficient. So I've got 14.
14, very well. Then you do just not become poisoned. Now we crit. So the way I do crits here, and it's fun for you guys too, but in this instance it benefits me. You don't roll double dice, you roll the normal dice, but we also then add the maximum possible roll that you could get on the dice. So, for example, if you crit with the d6, you get 6 damage plus whatever you roll.
Nice.
So, that being said, I would get 12 damage automatically, plus then what I roll. A 5 and a 1. So, that's 18 plus 5, plus 4, so 22 points of damage, including 7 poison damage. And I need another save, please.
Oh, and Bron, remember you have 8 temporary hit points.
I did,
anymore.
yes.
Yeah, now they're gone.
Great. Cool. 24.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You're not poisoned. You get a bit of poison, but you are not poisoned. Yeah, excellent. So that's that. It was, I think, quite lucky, to be honest. 2 crits. So, then it is Kingsley's turn.
Excellent. Okay. First thing, I think the darkness is a little difficult because I can't see them at all. So most of my spells won't work. But one thing that will is I think as he sort of like steps back a bit, will cup one hand to his beak and calling out, will make sure Betsy gets a workout, and I'm going to Bardic Inspiration to you because you only have to be able to hear me.
Yep.
So Bardic Inspiration to Bron. And then I'm going to hold my action, I think as soon as I see one leave the darkness, to cast Vicious Mockery on it.
Very well. Love it. Hell yeah. Cool. Then it's Bron's turn.
I think... No, let's do this bit first. I'm going to cast Shatter.
Great.
Fuck them up.
Yeah. So I assume, because they all came to hit me, they're all within a 10-foot
They are
radius
within
sphere?
They are 5 foot next to you. Yeah. 10-foot
Fantastic.
radius sphere? Absolutely, yes.
Great. All creatures need to make a con saving throw.
Yep.
Of
Including
16.
you, because you're right in the middle.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Fair enough.
So con saving throw of 16 or take 3d8 thunder damage.
Woo! I got 2 passes and 2 fails. I got a pair of 18s, but another very lows.
Cool, I got a 26 on my save.
Nice.
Damn.
It's half damage on a
Comfy.
succeed as well, I believe. So, yeah,
Yes.
roll the damage.
Great. 3d8 comes up to 10 damage.
10 damage. So
bad.
one of the ones that passed was the badly injured one. However, they were badly injured. So 5 is enough to knock them out. And thunder damage, I'm going to say, is not necessarily lethal. It also can push stuff back, can it not? Or am I
Yeah.
thinking of something else.
That's Thunderwave.
That's
Oh,
thunder
yeah.
wave.
Which I also have.
Shatter
Well-
is just straight
Well,
damage.
then the one that Julio bopped and then Bron bopped a bunch more falls backwards, unconscious, out of the darkness. The other 3, 2 of them take how much damage total? 10?
Yes.
10 damage, and one of them takes 5.
What am I?
And Bron also takes 5 damage, presumably.
Yes, which I have done, yes.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm going to action surge for another action.
Yo.
Yeah, he's also cross-class.
Oh my god. Is everyone just like juiced up? What
This is
the
a cross-class combo. I made a use of video about this particular cross-class, about a martial
Nice.
artificer cross.
Incredible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great. Cool. So I'm going to, Why not? I'm going to do that for the action surge. I'm going to drop... No, that's a bonus spell. A bonus action. I'll just punch him. That's fine.
Is it a concentration spell? Darkness?
Is the gem.
Ah, right. Yeah. Have you used your bonus action?
No, but I was going to use it for second wind to heal myself.
Do that.
Also
Do that.
fair.
I have a plan for the darkness thingamajig.
Okay, because I will drop it otherwise soon.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it's a bit annoying. So
No, it
very
will be
useful,
an issue
though.
soon. Yeah.
Very useful.
We'll get through it.
okay, cool. So whoever is nearest, I assume
All
whoever
three
is
of them are
hurting-
equally near.
Great. I will punch one of them twice.
Sure. Punch one of them twice.
Cool. 9 plus 8 is 17 to hit.
Does.
Great. And so this one gets... Oh, it was so close. 9 thunder damage.
Ooh. Yep. Oh, that's good.
And then the next hit he takes... Oh, is 12 plus 8, so a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 also hits. I mean, obviously.
It takes 7 damage.
7 damage. Oh, he's very close.
And then I'll use my bonus action to second wind and take 1d10 plus 2 hit points.
Smart.
Get them back. Yes. And so I regain 11 hit points.
Nice. As I recall, John, you're 5 artificer, 4 fighter? Is that right? Yeah.
7 and 2. 7 arty, 2
Oh.
fight.
Wow, yeah, this is it. You don't need many levels of fighter to be a good fighter. Most of the cool shit happens in the first couple of levels. Yeah. It works really well the other way around as well. You only need a single level of artificer to get most of the really cool shit. Yeah, just one level gets you magical tinkering and a full spellcaster worth of level 1 spells. Because you get spellcasting at level 1, and if you only take one level, you get the full amount.
Nice.
It doesn't scale particularly well. Like 2 levels of artificer is not as good, but just a single works real good. Alrighty, we go back to the top of the order, unless the familiar has anything they want to do.
I mean, it's still can't see into it, but I think this time, rather than just waiting without doing anything, he's going to hold his action to attempt to scare the first enemy to become visible, which is the actual name of the ability.
Oh wow, okay.
Nice.
Cool. Love it. We go back to
Cast Scare.
Julio.
Yeah, I have a plan for this shit. So Julio jumps up next to the edge of the darkness and casts Thunder Wave.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Do it.
Yep. So
You'll
everyone
get
in
2
15-foot
of them.
cube.
I
will probably get all of them. because
you'll get all of them but you'll also get Bron.
Yeah, that's fine. He's constitution to the fox. He's gonna be okay.
You're like, yeah, he'll be fine. He already
He'll be
blew himself
okay.
up. I feel like he does that on a fairly regular basis. All right.
Yeah, in the darkness we just hear like crashes and like thunder and such. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. So yeah,
Blue is
con
low,
from
green is
everyone.
high. Green is the high. The best is 14,
Oh, that saves.
but the other two
So it's
do
a
not.
half damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled
So
24.
you'll be okay.
Bron
You're
also
alright.
saves. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the full damage is 9
Yeah.
thunder damage.
Julio, you got
that's-
you got the one that Bron just bopped a lot. He's
Nice.
down. That was the one who saved, and he went down anyway. Gets
Nice.
blown away from Bron. Yeah.
So 9 and Braun gets 4, and they are pushed 10 feet away from me. So hopefully that will make at least one of them appear.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the two on the far side of the sphere of darkness get pushed 10 feet, like blown out of it, and as soon as they appear, that activates Kingsley's trap card.
Yeah,
Ready
they're all yours,
actions.
Kingsley.
All right. As one of them lands, I think they spot sort of Kingsley brushing sort of the worst of the dirt and dust off his clothes, and as he sort of looks over, well, I hope your next molt comes extremely inopportune, and I need him to make a wisdom save.
That's amazing.
I'm going to give him disadvantage on this save. I don't think it's going to matter, but I'm going to give it to them anyway. Oh, it did, because I critted on the first, but yeah, a 10.
Nice.
Fail.
I just
yeah,
don't think they're in a position to resist that upsetting thing you just said. Like,
Kingsley
Ow.
cares a lot about his appearance, and he can't imagine the nightmare that is shedding your skin. However, it only does 4 psychic damage, because Vicious Mockery doesn't do a lot, but it will give them disadvantage on their next attack. And the other one that just popped out of the darkness needs to make a DC 10 Wisdom save, as it is suddenly beset by the loud, sort of screeching, flapping noise of a bat just around its head.
They are both prone. However, Julio just took his turn. You have your bonus action, but you cannot attack with it because you didn't attack with your action.
Oh, that's all good. I think I just took my readied
reaction. Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Cool.
So Julio, anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, excellent. So Bron, one of them is like at the edge of the darkness. So you could be in the darkness punching them whilst not... That's the most efficient way to do it, is you be in darkness, because it doesn't matter to you, and they can't see you, so... But before we do that, it is their turn. They are going to get back up, dust themselves off, and both of them avoid... No, they can't see you.
It's fair.
Bro's like, come on then, and they're like, no. I'm not going back in the darkness, you can't make me. So the two of them are going to go for Julio. One of them, however, is a bit hurt. Some very hurt feelings, so has disadvantage.
One thing I will say... the Thunder Gauntlets do impose disadvantage on attacks against people other than me.
Cool.
Nice.
Then they both have disadvantage forever. Darkness be damned, but they ain't going back in there. So they skirt around the darkness and come for Julio. Because you cast a spell, so they know where you are.
For sure.
And,
I'm not hiding right now.
Julio does a 17 hit.
No, it does not.
What?
18, baby.
Yeah. There you go. There's an 18.
So much better than my 11.
18 and a filthy 20, so that's 1. And then the other
that's
one...
That's a good band name. 18 and a filthy 20.
Yeah.
That's definitely not a hit. And neither is that. 1 hit on Julio with disadvantage. Stupid. It's no fun.
Okay, can I just say, busted artificer, can we keep him?
Yeah. So that is a 7 all up from the slashing damage, plus a further 2 poison damage.
7 all up?
No, 9 all up. But 2 of it's poison.
1 HP of my health is gone. Oh. Okay.
Can you make me a con save, please?
Yes, I can. Thank you for the temp HP, Kingsley. Very much appreciated.
You're not going to use a reaction to half that?
I mean, those are... I get them every turn, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, sure. I'll half that shit. I'll half
So you
that
don't even
shit.
lose half the hit points.
I lose a 4.
You lose 4 of the 8 temporaries. Yeah. Please make the con save, though.
Con, let's go. I'm not very conny. 14.
Passes. Damn it! Not poisoned either. This fucking sucks. Alright. Kingsley, it is your turn.
Alrighty then. I think with that being the case, yeah, I think it might be my best option. So I think at this point, I think Kingsley is actually going to take his action to instead call out to his bat. And will call out just Gerald, and Bat will fly over and attempt to bite one of them.
Oh. Get bit by the bat, Gerald.
Yes. Okay.
Gerald is an excellent name for a bat. If you didn't already have inspiration, I would give it to you.
Oh, that's okay. I'm about to spend it because he rolled a nat 1.
Then I will just give you that one for free.
Go, Gerald.
All right. Excellent. Well, he rolled a 2 instead.
Jesus. That's better, I guess.
Turns out this is
Wow.
not a very dangerous bat.
No, apparently not. So that's a total of 6, which I'm assuming misses.
Not so much. No.
So that is a shame, but it's all right. And then I think with Kingsley's bonus action, he will. Yeah, I can. I may as well. Oh, actually, I can't see Ron, can I?
Not currently.
No. Okay, so that being the case, I think he
See
will
Julio.
still. I think he will still call out towards Julio and just keep it up. Bardic inspiration for you.
Thank you.
D6. Oh, actually, apparently I'm a D8 at this level. Huh?
I would have. Yeah, I thought you were most.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait,
So
you're
D8.
all bard. What are we talking about? You're absolutely 100% bard and nothing else.
True. Sorry.
Such a bard.
Don't know why I haven't hit the D10 yet, guys. At all.
It's very odd. DM fuckery,
It's
no
fine.
doubt.
You were held back one grade.
Yeah.
It's just, these things
It's
happen.
okay. It's all right. All right. So then it's Brun.
So they're on the edge of the darkness.
Yeah, one of them is. I really like the idea of they're lying on the. No, actually, they're not anymore because they would have gone around. No, they had. One of
Julio
them
was standing at the
would
edge
have
of the
to be.
darkness, right?
So one of them is on the edge of the darkness. Oh, Bron gets a D4 bonus from Riveljax. Thanks, Riveljax. How are you, mate?
Nice.
Good to see you.
Bye, Tony.
I will anyway
Hey, Tony.
use the bonus action. Oh, sorry.
No, carry on. I was just saying hi to Tony.
I will use the bonus action anyway to get rid of the darkness. Pop. No more darkness. But so if I'll check if you'll allow this. I also have a warhammer, but I would like to swing it two-handed. So even though I'm in my armor and I have the thunder gauntlets, I would like to hold it in my thunder gauntlets.
Yep.
And, I'm not going to attack with the gauntlets, but
Yep. That's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
I have no reason
Cool.
for that.
So I go bop, and I am right behind one of them.
So you just see this hammer just comes out of the darkness.
Nice.
Julio's like,
I can hear the Tom and Jerry scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I use my bardic inspiration for the attack roll?
Yeah.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
I think so.
Great.
But you
Cool.
you can roll and see what you roll before you decide if you want to spend.
Yeah, because I just rolled a 6, and I have +5, which is 11. So yeah.
Yeah, you can roll a D8
Yep.
and add it to that.
I rolled 8.
There you go.
Nice.
That's a hit. I was like, that's about a 50-50 chance of not hitting. But yeah, that hits. You
Yes.
do that.
Great.
And
So-
technically, I think you have advantage because you're in the dark.
no, I bopped. I turned it off.
Oh, that's right. I apologize. Yes.
I did say two-handed, so it's a D10 +1.
Do it.
It's 5.
Not bad.
Yeah. You hit. I'm not sure which one of them this is at this point. They're both quite badly hurt. One is more hurt than the other.
Well, can I? Maybe not. I was gonna say I do have booming blade, but I would have to have said that before I rolled.
Also, booming blade is a bonus action, is it not?
No, it's an action.
I think it's
No,
part of
yeah.
your
it's
attack.
part
It's
of
a
the
part of
it's
the
not
attack.
a-
That's the thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's all right. I'll do that next time.
It also means you
Cool.
can't extra attack if you booming blade.
Oh, I
But
did
you
extra
can right now.
attack.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna attack him again.
Do that.
Great.
You do that.
He's the happiest murder machine. Holy shit. He's like, yay, bonk.
This is fun. So it's a 12 +5, 17.
Does.
Yes.
You
So-
also have a D4. Do not forget from Riveljax. If you want to add it, but you do hit.
Did I not use that?
No, you use the bardic inspiration.
My
from
bardic
Kingsley.
inspiration.
I'll use it now.
We've got some very generous audience. That's only. No, I've never said you can't use it for extra damage. Why not? You can use it for extra damage if you want.
Yay.
Good to know.
All right.
Nice.
So a D4.
I have set a dangerous precedent.
What is this? What do I do?
There will
It's
surely
plus
be
one.
no ramifications.
Yeah.
So
It'll be fine.
10.
10.
This one's a 10.
Woo!
Nice.
Ron, how do you do this?
So
Let's go.
so they wisely avoid the blob of darkness, but doesn't
Then
really
it goes
help.
away, and it's sort of. I like to imagine the darkness. Is it just, whoop, or is it sucks back into the gemstone?
Oh no, that's better. Yeah, it just like sucks back in, and I'm right behind one of them. Bop. For
I
a
like to
little
imagine you standing there like, and then it sucks in. You're like,
Hey.
Bop.
And that one hurts a little bit, but then on the backswing, he just comes up, boom, and Yeah, exactly. It's
Yep.
like golf. It's a
they
warhammer.
fly?
Yes.
How many feet are they flying?
It's 10 damage, so let's say 10 feet.
Yes. 10 feet of non-lethal.
Yeah,
Like, it's a
non-lethal
hammer. Yeah.
falling damage. Yeah.
Sure.
He's going to be drinking his food through a straw for the next few weeks, but he's not dead. Yeah, there is one of them left up, and it's Julio's turn, unless the familiar would like to have a go.
The familiar, I think.
Gerald.
Actually,
Gerald.
yeah, Gerald. Gerald. I realize now because I think the way that it's worded is it says here. Additionally, when you take the attack action, you can forgo one of your own attacks to allow your familiar to make one. I'm assuming that actually means on its turn. So the failed attack probably would have happened now. I basically used my action to let it swing now, and then it's like, oh, it didn't work. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a turn.
Okay. In which case, I mean, the way it works with Beastmasters, which sucks, but it's the way it works, is the thing can use its reaction to do one of its attacks on your turn, and then gets its own go as well. The
Well,
point being
if-
that the animal is more dangerous than the ranger, which is why it sucks.
Yeah.
So I would allow
It's
it
up
to
to
have
you
another
how
go
you
if you
want
like.
Okay, well then in that case, I don't think he can attack on his own as a familiar, unfortunately. He takes my action to do it, but he can still take an action.
Yep.
So in that case, I think, despite the fact that his fangs are just not making purchase, he's going to continue to just around the guy's head, and is going to take the help action to give Julio advantage on his next attack.
Very well. Julio, you have advantage on your next attack.
Which I'm not gonna be attacking. He's the last person standing,
Yeah.
right? Okay. I assume that these guys at least know some common, which I will bank on.
Yep.
And I will like gesture to his comrades who are not dead but unconscious. I will say,
We are not trying to kill you, and we do not want to continue fighting. Please stand down and let's talk. I'll help you care for your friends. I just want to talk.
Persuasion with advantage because of the bat. The help action
Thank
does
you,
not
bat.
specify what it helps. It's like, get away.
thank you, Bats. Very
It's
persuasive,
not
Bat.
very helpful at all, but,
Fuck. Thank you for the advantage, because the first one was a 1. Okay. Second is 23.
Okay. It's a very
It's a
pleasant
bit
bat.
better.
Yeah, it's okay.
it's
It's all
better.
right.
You
Yeah.
said very pleasant company.
Are you better? You're better at persuasion than intimidation, is right?
Much. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Sure.
And I'm not trying to be intimidating.
No, I know. Then yeah. This guy staggers backwards, batting the bat away. Bumps into Bron's chest as Bron raises the hammer up again, clearly having a whale of a time. And looks around and then says, "What do you want?"
What's your name? My name is Julio.
Stephen.
Steven? I love that. Thank you, Steven.
Stephen.
Steven.
It's all about
Okay.
the pronunciation. I hiss it.
It's Steven.
So, Steven.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's correct, Shanahos. Yeah. There's also a silent Q in there, but it's otherwise fine.
Steven.
So, Steven, as I understand, you guys are trying to do this to get rid of the influence of the Amaranthine in the jungle.
Unpure. Poison.
Poison. How so? The city is thriving. The jungle was healthy. Why are you so against it?
Jungle will be healthy again. We fix.
How would you fix it?
Priests say, I not know.
And where is the priest?
At
I don't
temple.
want to fight the priest.
At
the
temple.
temple.
They fix temple now.
Ah, this in the jungle in the center. I see. Okay. Stephen, help us decide what to do. I do not wish for this to be a conflict here, but I am also a foreigner of sorts. I grew up here, but I have not been here since, and I cannot decide such things on my own. I would need counsel of you and the priest. I want this to be an amicable resolution, and the city will suffer unless the jungle is restored.
The
I
jungle
propose-
suffers every day the city lives.
What
We
happens?
fix. They burn
What-
their fields. They take over. Every time the trees grow back, they burn again. We save forest.
The city needs fields for produce to feed the people.
Then they go.
How about this? And you can tell no, that's fine. But how about we talk to the priest and find a border on which people will not intrude, but the fields, at least those that are needed to sustain the people, will stay.
You talk.
Yes.
I no fight. Priest at
No
temple.
fighting.
I say
Yes.
friends, you go.
Yes. Do you lead us?
No. I save.
How
I
will they-
fix. You find.
How will they know
You
that?
powerful warrior. You save.
So we are allowed to talk to the priest, but we need to find our own way there? Is that a yes?
He backs away from you and goes over to one of his friends and drags them into the forest.
Okay, Steven, before you go, give me some sort of sign that I can give to the priest so he doesn't attack us and we don't kill him.
Would you like to be better? I can cure your
Yeah, we can
wounds.
heal them.
Yeah, Stephen is not.
Steven?
He does not like you at all. And
Yeah.
he
I
is
put
just.
the hammer away.
He drags his friends into the underbrush, and you see no more of them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that went fairly well.
Yeah.
Better than I expected.
Yeah, okay, so we have some information. Also, we should probably walk and talk. I don't think these are the last,
There are
the
more.
last guys. Yeah.
More are coming.
So,
Your other success granted you, as you travel and discuss, you come across a small group of, they are called capus. Julio, you haven't seen one of these in years. They are fairly common, however, in Espinorra. They are giant capybara.
Nice. Are they rideable?
Yes, absolutely. They are, every single one of them, even the wild ones, are semi-tame. They're just really
Nice.
chill creatures. But fully tame ones are not quite the way that people of the Indian subcontinent treat cattle, like holy creatures, but they are allowed to pretty much just free reign in the city. Like, they're not corralled or anything. People just let them do whatever because they're super chill creatures. They don't wander far. They don't eat anything they shouldn't eat. They are kept for their milk, for their hides, for their meat. They are rideable, and they're pretty chill animals. You find a herd of about a dozen, and a decent animal handling check, you could get mounts.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, Kingsley will sort of step forward and just, well, me and my friends are looking for passage a little bit further into the jungle. Any of you up for an adventure? As he'll take advantage of speak with animals as well.
Yeah. And one of them goes, yeah, sure. How
Excellent.
far are you looking to go?
I'd say roughly the temple.
Oh, that's on the other side of the river. I could take you to the river, but the bridge won't take my weight.
Thank you,
Turns
partner.
back. He'll turn back to the others and just, he says he can take us as far as the river.
Oh,
that's fine.
yeah. That's
Very
great.
nice. Thank you.
That would be fantastic if you would be so kind.
Please make me an animal handling check, Kingsley. I'm actually going to call this a repeat of the animal handling check for the survival thing that you for the navigation that you failed the first time. Let's do it again.
All right. I rolled a 3, so I'm going to burn my inspiration.
Hells yeah.
Okay, better. This time it's an 8 on the die, so
Ooh.
18.
18
good.
is the number you needed.
Okay.
Nice.
One
to-
higher.
To succeed the number. Yeah. When you beat the DC, when you reach the DC, I tell you. 18 is the number you needed. These Kapu, guide you through to a bridge spanning over a gorge, down which a roaring river runs. It is the Red something River. Red Roar River. It roars as it passes beneath you. You find an exceptionally rickety bridge. And for the very first time, you can see the Temple of Nabar on the far side. It is probably no more than a couple of miles across, but you do have to cross the bridge. It's stone zenith peeking out of the jungle canopy. The temple is made of grey stone, and it looks like a D8 balanced on its point on the top of a D4. So not
Nice.
unlike this, for example. Sort of sitting like that.
As we ride up to the bridge, are we allowed to discuss
Absolutely.
the goings on?
All right. Well, guys, I kind of didn't ask you right on the spot because we're kind of strapped on time. But what do you think of the idea of trying to, negotiate with the priest? Because I think they're looking for the same thing as the city, just a bit differently.
Yeah. I don't think they're not malicious. They're just caught between a rock and a hard place, I guess. Yeah. That's a rock. Oh my.
It all comes back to rocks with you, bro.
Given that you're acting like you didn't intend it, I'm not going to give you inspiration for it.
I have though been spending the time arranging my dice rock.
Oh, nice, beautiful.
Nice. I think kind of grits his teeth a little and well, I'd certainly like to believe that they'd be more amenable to it. But the whole faith war, I feel like maybe complicates things. They seem relatively unwilling to compromise on whether or not they think the faith is a good or bad thing. And even if they don't mind the city, I highly doubt they'll consent to just letting us put the idol back.
Yeah. Well, we can try. We can talk to the priest, say Stephen talked to us. Maybe that's gonna be something. I'm also not sure his name was Stephen. That sounds very dumb. But
Maybe it's a translation.
Rocks fall, Julio dies.
No, the wrath of the gods. No.
And we also need to keep in mind that the city, the people said the temple is trapped, so we'll have to deal with the traps before we even get to the priest. But before we start fighting the priest, I would like to at least try to talk to him. And Kingsley, I would much appreciate your help with this.
Absolutely.
We might not find the resolution quickly, and we would need the officials of the city to also talk with the priest at some point. It's going to be a drawn-out process, but we can field the topic a little bit, see
Absolutely.
if they want to negotiate.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right.
Then, let us say, you get to the river, you dismount your Kapu steeds, and you make your way across the bridge. However, as you reach the middle of this 80-foot span, you hear a hissing noise from behind you, and the first few blowpipe darts, zip past you. As you look back, you see a dozen of these Tilia tree wardens sweeping down out of the forest and starting to scramble across the bridge itself as well. The ropes and planks creaking beneath you as it groans beneath the added weight. And I think we will leave it there for this week.
Cliffhanger.
Good shit.
Literally a cliffhanger.
Literally,
Yes.
yeah, nice.
Guys, thank you so much. That was an absolute
was
blast.
great.
I hope you enjoyed. And now we're going to do what we like to do at the end of our streams, our favorite moments, where we go around the room and say what we all thought each other did real good, because that was a splendid stream with two brand new and fascinating characters that I absolutely heckin' loved. And it's lovely to flesh out the backstory of Julio. Julio was an NPC I created, and then when we brought Daria into the world, I said, hey, there's a couple of NPCs there that you could be, or you could create something totally new. And Daria went with the less developed of the two NPCs I offered, and I hecking love where Julio has gone, what Daria has done with him. But taking over something that somebody else built sort of robbed Daria a little bit of the backstory creation element, and it's now really cool to be able to flesh out Julio's backstory and give Daria a little bit more agency in that. So I've hecking enjoyed it so far, and we will be back next Thursday night for the finale, the finish, the end of this particular little arc. So, Julio, well, I think we need to ask our audience. Shanahos, can you roll me a d4 in chat, please? Julio being 1, Bron being 2, me being 3 for a change, and Kingsley being 4, and that is who we will talk about first. A d3, that's the DM!
Ooh.
Damn you, Shanahos! You curse
Fucking
you!
got him.
Oh,
Let's
you
go.
know how much I hate this. Got him.
Okay, I really
You do.
liked how you really very easily fleshed out the companions of the Blue Rose. You gave them like distinct things, and I liked how they talked between each other. It felt like a rival adventuring group, which as a DM I also love doing. I love putting a rival adventurers group in the worlds that's like vying for the same thing as the heroes. Love that shit, and allows for such like interesting communication with the heroes. So I was like very, very looking forward to them talking to our guides.
Thank you. And chat, if you have any favorite DM moments as well, you're welcome, though not in any way obligated to put them up. Bishop Blood says, Mama not pushing her religion. Yeah, that was... yeah. Mama's feelings on my own match there very strongly.
I can go next, if that's right, because I think
Different.
my favorite moment was actually when you said, I didn't intend for you to reason with the adventurers. I had no idea. I was just like, yeah, this is the path we're supposed to go. Like, that was so well done. And the fact that you were just like ad-libbing that, that's, yeah, I admire that.
Oh.
That was, yeah.
For glimpse behind the DM screen, they're supposed to chase you. They're the ones who are supposed to chase you through the forest. The tree wardens very much just worked for them in the original version of this. I'm like, no, well, all right then. So the whole, I'll give you one better. The fucking priest of the tree warden, that's made up on the fly too. There had to be a logical reason for you to go and do the adventure, because you basically talked your way out of most of the problems I had created for you.
Like, yeah, amazing job. Yes.
Nice.
Absolutely. Okay. First, getting to play in this world for the first time. This world's incredible, and you've done an amazing job of fleshing it out. I love everything about it. I really appreciated the mechanical thing you did with the chase, because the whole like rolling for group success or failure is obviously something that people talk about a lot, and everyone has their own way of doing it. But I really enjoyed that instead of it just being a majority success, majority fail situation, it was sort of more to the point of like the failures still felt like they had a place and like they did something, but it felt like because we got the majority success, it was still very much in our favor. And I really appreciated just like that little like lean that it had to it, instead of just being, okay, 2 out of 3, you make it, go on. Like,
Yeah.
it was a really clever choice. I liked it a lot.
Thank you. Laurite says,
Oh.
favorite DM moment, the description of the horde. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Looks- yeah,
Shanahos
nope.
says Josh as Steven.
Steven.
Also very good. But I have a second.
If you watch back in the
favorite
VOD,
DM
you
model.
can see my face going, fuck, what would I call one of these guys?
Steven. That was so stupid. I love it.
It was like,
Very
Steven,
funny.
no, it can't. No, actually, fuck it.
Yeah, that was good. But another favorite moment, and I almost forgot because it happened in the beginning. I loved the mechanic of fleshing out our relationship with questions. I never saw that used before, and I want to yoink that, and I want to see what kind of table you're using, and I want to use that next time I'm DMing because that is great. That is very good.
That is
Immediately,
up in the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. It is
Thank you very
pinned
much.
in the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. It is. I stole it from
steal that.
Teens in Space.
yeah,
Because I was gonna say,
I'm
when we
gonna.
played it, we ran that. It's such a fun mechanic.
Teens in
Yeah,
Space
I'm
is
gonna
actually
use that
part
now.
of the character building for Teens in Space. I, however, have taken it and modded it. And it's really great for one-shots and short form adventures to establish backstory of characters. I always use it. And yeah, it's a 20 good and 20 bad questions in Teens in Space. And I'm like, yeah, you choose to either have a good relationship or a bad relationship, or like a good or bad foundation of your relationship. But I didn't like that you could choose. So I just muddled them all in together, removed some of the ones I thought were too much, and then added a bunch. So now it's a 50-point list, and I could have actually just had you roll D50s in chat, but instead, D100s and half it. I really love that mechanic. It is great fun. My favorite me moment. So this is a published adventure. This is a module. This is the Heart of Darko, which I have played over on Phoenix Iwaki. John ran it like a year and a half ago over there. John from Phoenix, and I played this as Daria's. Daria knows the person I played this as. I played it as Marco Vilnius, the servant captain of the ship that you guys went and fought the weight worm on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
That motherfucker.
Marco, in his own canon, went and did this adventure elsewhere. And Marco Vilnius, the servant captain of the ship, So making it work in the setting, making it work for the backstory, I changed a few things, I muddled a few things around. Caspia Eskander is actually Caspian Eskander, and I have a picture if you would like to see. I forgot about that. Caspia is there. That is Caspian Eskander, but it's gender neutral enough that the kitty cat looks the same one way or t'other. They are actually an archaeologist, and ask the group to go and solve the problem that the Order of the Blue Rose creates. I modded it, and Dory is actually one of the pre-built characters that's supposed to play the adventure. Just slotting all the little details into the world, making it work in my canon, and also the building. So there's some stuff about Kingsley that the audience does not know and may not find out, but even if they do, it'll be cool. I love making stuff make sense in the ludicrously extended canon that we now have. 137, I think, episodes at this point in this world of various stripe. Easily 40 player characters plus now. Totally the bard, yes. Anyway, that's favorite DM moments. We don't need to talk about me anymore. Let's talk about somebody else. Bishop Blood, can you roll me a D3, please? It's Jonathan right there. Where was Jonathan from? What's that from?
Kingsley the totally bard. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I am mostly.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. A 3. Well, let's talk about Kingsley then. We're talking about the
speaking
totally
of.
only a bard. All right, favorite Zach moments.
I have one immediately.
Oh, the D&D moment, of course. The D&D movie, yes, Jonathan, yeah.
I really liked the spin on the glamour bards and how like easily you portrayed that like suave guy who's like, this nothing phases Kingsley. He's like confident. I really like that. Glamour bards don't get enough recognition and don't get enough play, and I think that's a beautiful way to show how cool they can be, because Kingsley was badass.
Yeah, I was totally gonna say like my favorite moments were the descriptions of the way you cast your spells. Like the Hypnotic Gaze one, where like the peacock feathers. That was just, it was cool. Kingsley was really cool, and I love it.
I was going to say that too. I like the gold speckles working its way in, particularly given what I know about his backstory. That's very cool. But also, now that I have to find another one because John stole mine.
Sorry.
There was a particular line. It was, well, I don't mind stealing at all. I thought that was really cool, and like, it says a lot about Kingsley in very few words. That like it says what he said, but also that he is happy to say so in front of two people who he is not, like, he hasn't seen Julio in a long time, and he is quite close to Bronn, and who it feels very much like he's the big brother in the Bronn-Kingsley relationship. So there'd be a little bit riding on, like, street cred wise of Bronn's good opinion of him, and also on Julio's, and the fact that he's like, no, I've got the guts to say it, I don't mind. Yeah, was cool. I really liked it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Is this sort of static? Can anyone else hear that?
Yeah, I could. It's gone now.
Okay, yeah.
Is it me? If I'm talking for a large amount of time, can you hear static?
Not anymore.
No?
I think
Okay.
it's gone.
No. Oh. Good.
I think for my own, I like keeping the secrets. Who knows if they'll come out or not? We'll see. But I think in terms of everything I did, I enjoyed a lot of it. But I think for one specific moment, it was really silly. But I really enjoyed insulting the lizard by wishing him an inopportunely timed mort.
Yeah.
That was
Good.
fun.
Like just
Just
before a
because I thought
major
it's
social
big.
function.
Because I was like, it's barely
Oh,
an
what's the
insult,
date?
but to someone like
Yeah.
Kingsley, it is unfathomable.
Excellent. Do we have any others? I liked when you convinced them by being like, hey, do what you want. I just thought I should warn you. Yeah. Yeah, the convincing was really good. I really enjoyed both of your work on that. Yes. Alrighty, well, we need a D2 then. To choose between Julio and Bronn. And I'm gonna... I want the music to stop. I want Inner Forest
Hey,
back.
thanks for the sub.
This
Hey,
is mildly
Vince.
stressful. Ooh.
Thank you too, I don't know.
Hey, Biss, thank you very much. Good on you.
A 2. We got a 2.
Who's
A
two?
2. That'd be you. Bronn.
I have one immediately. I loved playing with you because immediately you have such a like friendly playing off of each other atmosphere that immediately like Julio and Bronn were like talking as like old friends.
Yeah.
If left to it, we could have like been just like talking shit for like a long time.
It's why
Just having
Kingsley
fun.
arrived. I was like, well, let's see if we can't get Zach in before the break.
That was definitely opportunity to just like riff off forever. That was fun. I liked it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. I loved how hard you just ran with everything. The fact that like in the intro you were handed like the rock, and every time anyone like made like a joke about something for your character or like made a suggestion on something, you were immediately just like, yep, absolutely. And at no point did it feel like you were changing the character. It just felt like suddenly that was Bronn, and you were just like, yep, absolutely, that's how it goes. All right, and just kind of rolling with it, and it made for such a good story. It was so fun to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. John, I'm in no way surprised, but incredibly, like, I've said before, I really love being right. That you were in no way felt like, I've never done this before. You're a natural, dude. This was... I've said to John before, like, we talked privately about it, and I was like, the interesting thing is doing D&D to be watched as a show. But John and I did a performing arts undergraduate degree together. Like, John is very experienced performer, that's why I was not in any way worried about this. But, it was very, very cool to see you do something I've never seen you do before, and extremely ably. Because I've never even played D&D with you before. This is the first time we've ever played D&D.
Yeah, we kind of got into it after
We kind of
I
got
moved
into
away.
it at exactly the same time, interestingly enough. I've been at it for about 5 years, but but never together. This is super cool. I'm really, really grateful. My favorite you moment was definitely the description of your house. I was just like, obviously he is ADHD, at least. He's very neurospicy, and yeah, he lives the way my wife would if I wasn't there.
He lives the way I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives the way I would if my wife wasn't there. Yeah.
For clarity, all four of us are neurospicy, but Jen and I are the tidy kind. This rhymes with orange. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. John, favorite stealth moment?
Actually, I really liked the fight because I had spent, I think, about a fortnight just every night talking to ChatGPT, being like, all right, how am I going to build this character? What are some fun things? I love the idea of blind fighting. And like, I actually got to do it and it was fun. And like, I've never been a frontline character before. I've always been support. So it was great. Like I got to do some stuff. I bopped a guy on the head with a hammer. Like, I really enjoyed that.
I think even outside of a character being very capable, you also like infuse it with a lot of character. It seemed like he was having fun with it, and all that like cartoonish disconnect between him being so gullible and sweet and the fucking huge hammer and the shatterings. It's beautiful.
And small moment, but Betsy.
I decided
naming
this
the armor.
That it was called Betsy. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to play with everyone. I think everyone is just like, we riff well, and I love it. Yeah.
The description of the armor coming out, sort of semi-pieces of armor, and some of it's just organic, almost like nano machines. Very cool. Laurite says, loved the suddenly armor moment, which I imagine is exactly what I just mentioned, actually. Shanoha says, the rock puns were 10 out of 10. And you just took that rock thing and rock and rolled with it, says Bishop Blood. Yeah, absolutely. And Bishop Blood also says, just sit anywhere. It probably won't move.
Just the response to what, like, should I move something? And you're like, no, just sit down. It probably won't move. And it was like, what?
Don't make no promises. Excellent. Alrighty, well, Bishop Blood, do you want to roll us that D1 to see whether or not Daria gets to talk?
Zero. If I don't, that'd be awkward.
There it is. Alrighty, a D1, and that is Daria. Let us talk Julio. I think it's fairly appropriate that we talk Julio last. I'm going to go first this time. Your instant relationship with Caspia, bringing the presents for the children, that was very, very cute. And yeah, there was a lot of exposition at the beginning, but we got into it and it worked. And yeah, I've played with Daria for a while now, and it's really fun to have somebody I know I can just throw this to, and that you will take it and make it work. Julio as a ghost in the tent was very funny, says Laura.
Excellent.
So you go.
No, you're right.
I not one specific moment, but I just liked role playing with you the whole time, like immediately, and just being like, no, I don't want to non-lethal damage. Like Bron, I don't think knows quite why he's doing what he's doing, because it's just fun to be around Julio. Like they get on, and it's great fun, and I really like the way you role played every moment, if that counts.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was really great to play with. I love the like almost reluctant thief as like an archetype is great. It's really fun. But I think I really enjoyed as well, like despite the fact that again we don't really know Julio coming into this, although our characters obviously do, and they've missed a lot of things, but just uncovering bits of the history of Julio through like all the little things we hear where it's like, oh, he pulls out the awesome looking dagger and it's like, okay, so there's a story there. He's talking with he's talking with the lady who ran the orphanage as well, and suddenly it's like, oh wait, he's part of some like religious group going on, and like, you know, there's all this happening, and then it's like, oh, you're seeing the object and your elemental eye is going off, and it's like, wait, he has one of those? Like, hold up, what? all those little moments of just like learning things about him without just having the whole story dumped out made him just like a really fun character to kind of just explore, because you're kind of just sitting there going like, what's going to be the next thing that drops?
Yes. It's like, wait, you were a pirate?
I think that's a very good way to like present a high or mid-level characters, because they clearly have a lot of story, a lot of experience to them, and obviously for them that's normal stuff at that point. So just leaving little tidbits, so like, oh yeah, and this happened at some point. That feels realistic to me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It was great.
It was just very cool that, yeah, there's lots of, like, the boys have questions.
Totally.
Yeah.
The elemental eye legitimately caught me by surprise.
That was the
just
biggest
like,
one. Like the rest of
what?
it, I was like, ooh, okay, ooh. But then, yeah, when it was like, oh yeah, the eye patch, yeah, the elemental eye underneath starts seeing things, and I was like, the what?
The what now?
Yeah, that's pretty new
It
as
was
well. That's
phenomenal.
only like the last month or so.
I mean,
that's-
a lot of the things about him are very new.
Yeah,
There's like
well,
so much development recently.
I love the cult judgment. I'm like, oh, I knew there's a cult. I'm like, you lead a cult. You don't get to.
It's not a cult, it's a fleggling religion. How dare you? We're rebranding.
We created
Rebranding.
your bard subclass is cult leader bard.
Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay. Anyway,
It's not called that. It's called the College of the Canopy, but it is a
Yes.
bard designed to be a cult leader.
Gotcha.
Yes. Anyway,
Incredible.
my favorite meme moment was actually in the beginning, where I gave a description of the like orphanage, because it felt very lived in. Like I would very easily see like her leading the kids to draw on the walls and like make it their own. I think
The
that
wall
was
mural
nice.
was such a great
Such
touch.
a lovely
Yeah.
detail. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Alrighty. Well,
Awesome.
we have all been thoroughly flattered. We have flattered ourselves, and now we should flatter off. So, we shall go away from here now and find somebody to raid. Who is live tonight? Well, we have the Lucky Red Sparrow. We have Mike Moans. We could drop a little sneaky raid on Mike Moans. Let's do that, I think. Drop a raid on
yeah.
Mike Moans, everybody. Mike Moans is a fantastic mini painter from
Love you,
Manchester. Yeah, he does incredible artwork, and he's also a splendid bean who has come and played with us more than once. He comes over for International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day every time. Last time he was there with Dread and Promethean, and it was a chaotic game. Very, very fun. And yeah, great fun. So we'll drop a raid over on Mike. But guys, who the absolute heck have you been today? Zach, who are you?
I, as mentioned, am Zach. I'll be back next week to play this again because this was phenomenal. Also because she mentioned it in chat. Also, yes, Jess and I got engaged. Woo! Fun little thing.
Yay! Congratulations.
Yeah, very fun. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do other D&D and stream related things in the near future because of work and such. But I will be back next week, and depending on how things go, maybe even some weeks beyond that, who knows?
Remember Candlekeep Mysteries? Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe Candlekeep. I believe
maybe-
also
maybe
I've
John
entered
and
into
Jess
some
will-
chats with Ardana, so maybe there'll be something going on with all that.
Ooh.
Dana is a great DM as well.
Absolutely.
John, who the heck are you?
I'm Jonathan Best. This has been my first D&D stream. So this has been lots of fun. So amazingly fun. I'm still figuring out Twitch in the background. You might have seen me like glancing off the screen a couple times. Still trying to figure it out, but I've had so much fun, and I am definitely coming back for more. So thank you all for having me.
Hells yeah.
It's been great.
You've been extremely welcome. Daria, who the heck are you?
I'm Daria, I'm an artist. Usually you can find my art on the channel and me on Thursdays. And I might also be back for Candlekeep, which I'm excited about. And yeah, thanks for hosting this. This was so fun. I can't wait to see the end of the story.
This was kind of Daria's idea as well. I was thinking about having like little short form stories, and then Daria was like, "Ooh, maybe a Julio one about going back to," and I was just like, "Yes, that's the great idea." Yeah, so this was actually Daria's idea, and I'm hecking glad that it happened. Congrats on losing your stream virginity. Absolutely. Yes. And Mesdames et Messieurs, Damen und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies. We're having some teens in space soon. We're going to have some Candlekeep mysteries in the December times, in between my many Santa gigs. I am Father Christmas so much. My Saturday nights have just extended by an hour. They're like, we've actually won 3 hours. I'm like,
Gotcha.
but make the money while the money shines. Other than that, you can find me in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar und his little dragon, Rosh. What else have we got going on? I don't think there's very much else going on. I do need to mention the wonderful lads at Wooten Forge, who provide some of the WA and possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. Check them out, wootenforge.com/Corsair's Cove. If you do and purchase anything, we get a cheeky little kickback. This is a beautiful Jarrah dice keeper. You can get them laser engraved. It's got leather on the inside. My favorite feature is actually on this side. That's the rolling tray, but on this side, it's padded. So you can put minis in there and they don't get damaged, which is super smart.
Nice.
They also have a lot of other products over there. They also created for us. Where is it? Where did I hide it? This is so cool. My favorites. They make coins as well. This is a Corsair's Cove coin. With the Wooten Forge logo on the back, and it comes a little standing case thing. Very, very cool thing. I hecking love all of their products, and they are amazing supporters. Well, Abyss, my Santa voice. Yes, I've actually used my Santa voice several times on the stream. It's jolly good fun. No, it is great fun. I have to put on the problem is, it's in Australia, you see. So, it's fucking hot. Is the main issue. I do Santa Claus in 40 degrees, which is stupid. Claus the Pirate. Oh, yes, Santa the Pirate. Absolutely. Aussie Santa. I do have an Aussie Santa look, a beach Santa, summer Santa, but I rarely get to use it. They normally want the traditional with the fur, and the boots with the fur, and anyway.
Apple bottom Santa.
Yeah,
Let's go.
apple bottom Santa pants. Yeah.
Is that going to be the priest we meet in the next game? The Santa?
Yes. With the thickest ass.
Cool. All right, we will go away from here now, I think. Except we need to mention Trolllore Games as well. Trolllore Games are also amazing supporters of the channel. Check them out at trolllore.com. They create loads of TTRPGs. Check out all of their cool stuff at Trolllore as well. They all run off their home system, the Siege engine, which I think is really clever pun. And they have Castles and Crusades, Starship Warden, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Check all that shit out there. So, we will go and drop a raid over at Mike Moans, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. Throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Mike where you came from. Show them the love like we always do. And we will see you same bat time, same bat channel, back next week on Thursday night, and probably on Tuesday as well for a little bit more Baldur's Gate 3 action. So, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Whee!